score. Finding McCraven, pass a little high for him. McCraven had a reset, puts it up off the glass, good.
Out to Hallie Crockett, her second baseball pass up the floor to Abby Richmond. Right-handed layup for two.
Still backing and backing, gets stalled again. And picks up 2 points. So 2-point takedown.
The puck tries to reverse along the boards, taken away by Parker. Found another goal! Parker tees up Brody Schultz!
Little right-handed dribble, goes to Reichel, deep three-pointer on the way! That's good.
Up the floor, Severson over to Bevins, all alone, steps up, shoots the three, and it's good.
Ulstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And a very pleasant good afternoon, everybody. Tom Milano broadcasting live from Ralph Engelstad Arena in Thief River Falls. Mac Robinson's our engineer for the broadcast here this afternoon. Championship Saturday. Usually it's Championship Friday, but Mother Nature had other ideas on St. Patrick's Day yesterday as Highway 2 was shut down between East Grand Forks and Crookston, so it was a no-brainer to reschedule the game from last night to this afternoon. This is the only show in town. It's the only game left in the 4 classes that make up boys basketball in Minnesota. In fact, they're waiting to seed for the state tournament until this game is played. I think 4:30 this afternoon they're going to sit down and seed for the state tournament, but they have to wait to see who comes out of Section 8A. Whether it be the Fosston Greyhounds with a record of 25-5 or the defending section champion East Grand Forks Sacred Heart Eagles, who come in at 26-4. Welcome as always to our pregame show, brought to you by Solely Realty in Fosston, serving the Fosston and surrounding area with top-notch real estate service since 1968. Solely Realty in Fosston. And the pregame show also brought to you this afternoon by Bitker Inc. Bitker Inc. thanks all area farms and farm families for your business and for growing the crops to produce the food we enjoy during this Ag Month. It's important to say thank you. And Bitker Inc. reminds you to order your farm implement and ag equipment tires now. Call Troy, the tire guy at Bitker Inc. to discuss the tires you need. Place your orders and discover additional savings with multiple tire orders for your farm. Bitker Inc. at 218-456-7467. These two teams did not play each other. A different trend compared to what the two teams have faced up to this point. For example, Fosston had to beat Ada Borup West for a third time. They did. Had to beat Fertile Beltrami for a third time. They did. Of course, East Grand Forks Sacred Heart played Warren Alvarado Oslo. Got a buzzer-beating win, 50-48 over the Ponies. But that was a team they had played twice during the regular season. But we have a matchup here featuring the two top seeds. Fosston, the top seed out of the East. Sacred Heart, the top seed out of the West. And with all the parity and all the great teams that make up Section 8, I don't think a lot of people have figured it would be the top two seeded teams. The number one from the East facing the number one seed from the West to go to the state tournament. That's exactly what's happened here, and it should be a great matchup. We're going to talk more about this with Coach Ben Hemberger shortly in the pregame coaches' comments, but the Greyhounds are banged up. They are not coming in at full strength here this afternoon, and we'll bring you up to date with that situation here in just a little bit. So we'll see what kind of impact, if any, that has on the game here this afternoon. When we come back, we'll get to our pregame coaches' comments, brought to you by the Border Bank in Clearbrook and the Georgetown Farmers Elevator. You're listening to the pregame show brought to you by Solely Realty in Fosston and Bitker Inc. on KKCQ, KRJB, and your live event.
New arrival. 2 new Model 2023 Gleaner Combines at Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada. It's cleaner with Gleaner. Visit with Chuck Orneo for more details. Ziegler Ag Equipment coming soon. Additional trade-ins and more new equipment arriving at Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada. Massey Ferguson 4710 tractor is on the lot. Fendt Model 516 tractor on the lot. Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada, 218-784-2961.
This is Carly Olson at American Federal Bank in Ada. You can save time on your banking needs with American Federal's mobile deposit. Use your mobile device to deposit checks whenever and wherever it's convenient for you. It's available to online banking customers within the American Federal mobile banking app. Go to your app store today to download the American Federal mobile banking app. To learn more about American Federal's mobile deposit, stop in and visit us at American Federal Bank in Ada, member FDIC.
Service is something that's taken very seriously at the Bennett Hoagland Agency of Ada and Moorhead. John Wayne and Marissa know that service is important to you, their customer. They keep you informed and educated on the latest changes in crop insurance coverage and giving you fast claim services. John Wayne and Marissa at the Bennett Hoagland Agency have the experience and involvement with crop insurance, which helps to better serve the area farmer with crop insurance information. They thank you for your business, and they remind you, if you have any questions about crop insurance, visit them at the Bennett Hoagland Agency of Ada and Moorhead.
Have you seen the huge selection of used vehicles that Christian Motors of Fertile has? Stop by the lot, talk with one of the guys about the huge selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, and so much more. They've got a great selection of used vehicles right now. You can view them at christianmotors.com or christiancarsonline.com. One of the biggest selection of used vehicles around, it's Christian Motors. They're proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer, Highway 32 North in Fertile.
Welcome back to the Section 8A Boys Basketball Championship game, broadcasting from Ralph Engelstad Arena in Thief River Falls. The Fosston Greyhounds come in at 25-5. They've won 13 of their last 15 games. Sacred Heart, they come in at 26-4, and they've won 9 of their last 10 games. For the Greyhounds, they finished 19-2 within Section 8A this year. Sacred Heart, they finished 23-2 within the section. And the Eagles again coming off that buzzer-beating win over Warren Alvarado Oslo to win their subsection championship. 2 of their 4 losses coming against the Northern Freeze, and their other 2 losses coming against East Grand Forks and Thief River Falls. Ironically, 2 teams that also beat the Fosston Greyhounds. So we're going to get to our pregame coaches' comments, brought to you by the Georgetown Farmers Elevator. To sell your grain, call Gary Balsam at 218-236-6661 at the Georgetown Farmers Elevator. And the pregame coaches' comments are also brought to you by the Border Bank in Clearbrook. Here's Fosston Greyhound coach Ben Hemberger. Coach Ben Hemberger joining us on our pregame show as the Greyhounds play for a section championship on a Saturday afternoon. It's been a wild 9-day ride and a couple of schedule readjustments, including this game.
Yeah, just kind of par for the course in northwest Minnesota, I guess, with the weather. Yesterday was kind of chaotic especially over in the Red River Valley area where Sacred Heart's coming from, but luckily we were able to get it in today.
Okay, Sacred Heart, you did not play them during the regular season. However, especially when it comes to the non-conference opponents, a lot of similarities.
A lot of them. They're a very, very good basketball team. They got good length, good size, a fantastic point guard. He might be the best point guard in the section, to be honest. And he's not very big, but he is tough. And with Josiah Sunby, but very well coached. They did lose a couple 1,000-point scorers off their team a year ago, and and they just reloaded. And it's going to be a good challenge for us today, and hopefully our guys can rise to the occasion, because you don't get to this game every year, and hopefully we can take advantage.
Yeah, certainly when you talk about Sacred Heart, it wasn't rebuilding. It was, like you said, reloading. Your team could be healthier right now.
It could be. It is what it is, though. And, our last couple games, too, we've had kids that kind of got banged up and other kids have stepped up. And, that's kind of the beautiful thing about this group of kids is it seems like every single night we have somebody different that steps up. And we've had 3 different kids lead us in our 3 tournament games so far, and in scoring, and hopefully somebody else is going to have to rise to the occasion today. Carson and Darren, they're both going to give it a go and hope for the best, and obviously we're going to hope for the best, and hopefully everybody else on both teams can stay healthy in this thing too.
Yeah, this is where maybe some of those other teams that Sacred Heart didn't play on the non-conference schedule that you played, like Nevis is going to state, Cherry, who's going to state, and Thief River Falls almost went to state. Tough non-conference schedule. Maybe, hopefully this is where it pays off.
I sure hope so. Especially our last, 6, 7 games or 8 games or whatever it was of the regular season. It was a grind every single night, and that's what we have been seeing here in the tournament run that we've had so far, and so hopefully, like you said, it'll pay off in the long run here for us. And I think we got a group of kids that are pretty level-headed, and we've kind of talked all season long. You never want to get too high, you never want to get too low, and we win that big win against Fertile the other night, and you could tell that they have, just by their reaction, that there's more that they want to accomplish, and they got themselves into this position, and with a lot of effort and hard work and discipline and all that type of stuff, and hopefully we can just take it one more step further.
Yeah, this is a great group of seniors too, 7 seniors that have been through the program for so many years, and this is the type of situation where that senior leadership and senior experience again hopefully pays off.
It is, and it's like I said, it's a pretty unique group having this many upperclassmen, especially this many upperclassmen that all see significant time, and they're great leaders for us, and a pretty focused group. So, hopefully they can continue to lead us today.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks for your time. Good luck, and we'll talk to you after the game.
Sounds like a plan, Tom.
Ben Hemberger, head coach of the Fosston Greyhounds, joining us in the Georgetown Farmers Elevator and Border Bank in Clearbrook. Pregame coaches' comments. Countdown to tip-off here at 1 o'clock. It's the Fosston Greyhounds and the East Grand Forks Sacred Heart Eagles for a trip to the State Boys Basketball Tournament. We'll be back and have a conversation with Destry Sturkel, the head coach of the Sacred Heart Eagles, next here on the Bitker Inc. and Solely Realty pregame show. We're back after this 3-minute timeout.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. Many factors impact your ability to increase profits on the farm. Make sure your planter is an asset and not a liability. Some limiting factors in making the perfect planter pass are row maintenance, meter calibration, and downforce management. It will not cost you anything to have the conversation about identifying those limiting factors. Call RDK Enterprises 701-636-2119 or planterdoc.com.
Founded upon our Benedictine heritage of prayer and work, Sacred Heart Catholic School promotes faith in Jesus Christ, educates youth, and ministers to all. At Sacred Heart, it's not just about education, but about the formation of the person, mind, body, and soul. By living each day the Eagle Way, today's students will become tomorrow's leaders. To learn more about the Sacred Heart School or to view activity schedules, teachers' pages, and more, visit sacredheartegf.net.
Every business has its special needs and its own unique set of challenges. That's why we treat your business just like ours, to make sure you are covered right. Hello, this is Shane with Irie Insurance, and our agents have seen it all, and one slip-up can take a small business years to recover from. That's why it's so important for a small business to work with an insurance company that can save them money but also make sure they are protected. If you own a small business, we would like to work for you. Go to IrieInsurance.com to find a local agent near you.
The Halstead Living Center, Heritage House in Halstead, and the Normandy in Twin Valley present an atmosphere that is calm and comfortable. Whether you're in need of a short-term or long-term care stay, they offer a variety of first-rate services with a tailored plan to exceed your expectations at any level of care, including senior living with services, skilled nursing care, rehabilitation care, respite, hospice, or adult daycare. Get more information by going to halsteadlivingcenter.com or call 218-456-2105.
When you're going out to play this winter, do it in Ada. Ada has an ice skating rink, snowmobiling, snowshoe and cross-country ski trails. And stop in Ada on your way to and from any other activities. Meet your friends, have a bite to eat. Or if you're in the mood for a swim and not quite ready for a polar plunge, swim with family and friends at the indoor pool at the Deco Center. Ada also has its event center ready to host meetings or family events. Welcome to Ada, alive and thriving.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
The Minnesota State High School League reminds us that the educational value of today's event is more important than its outcome. Respect for others, including opponents and officials, is one of those values. Support today's teams the respect they deserve. A reminder from the Minnesota State High School League. As far as the injury update is concerned for the Fosston Greyhounds, we've got Carson Bushy battling a bad ankle. That was suffered in their win over Ada Borup West on Monday. And then Darren Sculla injured his right wrist in the latter part of the first half of the Fertile Beltrami game on Wednesday. Now, as far as we know, they're both going to hopefully start in the game this afternoon. I'm not sure if there's a game time decision one way or the other. They both obviously want to play very, very badly. And there's certainly two key cogs in the Greyhound lineup. So we'll wait and see what happens. But like we said earlier in the pregame show, the Greyhounds certainly not at 100% health-wise coming into today's game. Let's continue with the Georgetown Farmers Elevator and Border Bank in Clearbrook pregame coaches' comments. Here's Destry Sturkel, head coach of the defending section champion East Grand Forks Sacred Heart Eagles.
Hey, Coach, first of all, congratulations on another berth in the section championship game. A nail-biter the other night to get here today.
Yeah, it seems like a long time ago. 2 days prep. Usually it's one with the weather, and it was a fun game. We took care of business, dug ourselves in a little bit of a hole, and we can't do that tonight against a great Fosston team.
Okay, when you heard the game was rescheduled to today, maybe it didn't have effect or impact either way, but I know everybody's chomping at the bit to get this game going.
Yeah, but past 2 seasons we've had a ton of reschedules. This is my 9th year coaching, and my first 7 years we had no rescheduling. Maybe that was just fortunate there, but the last couple of years it's kind of what it's been, so we're used to it. We're used to wanting to have a game and going to have a practice instead. So chomping at the bit a little bit, but got another day of prep, worked on some more stuff, and hopefully it pays off today.
After all the talk about such a wild and wide open Section 8, here we have the top 2 seeds playing for the championship.
That's right. It usually shakes itself out. And it was wide open. There's a lot of good teams that could have gotten to this point, but credit to ourselves and credit to Fosston, both full of great players. I think the biggest thing is both teams are really unselfish, well-balanced, and they don't care who's getting all the points or rebounds. They just want to work together, and usually that is a good recipe for success.
You obviously had an awesome postseason run last year, and then, of course, are missing a few players from that team, including a couple of 1,000-point scorers. But you reloaded, as Ben Hemberger said, here for this season. And how about the experience of what you went through last year? What does that mean for a game like today?
That means a lot. We've been in the spot. We've have 3 starters back. 2 of the other starters played in those games, and then a couple more off the bench now that are gained experience all year. But I don't know, it'll be a whole different style of ball game today. I think both teams are going to defend hard, and it's going to come down the half-court set. But I think it maybe settles our nerves a little bit that we've been here. We've been in this spot, and Fosston maybe they'll be a little rattled, but I doubt they will be. They're well coached. Ben's going to have them ready to go, and I think once you get through those 5 minutes, nerves settle, and now it's just basketball.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because here, you've played Warren, Alvarado, Oslo 3 times, and you've met the other teams you played in the postseason several times. Same thing with Fosston, but you did not have your paths crossed during the regular season. So kind of interesting from that standpoint.
Yeah, it is. It's refreshing to see something new, and man, their offense is going to be hard to stop. We got a plan. Hopefully we can execute it, and it's just my first time playing Fosston ever, so it's unique, it's a little different, and it'll be fun. It's down to 2 great teams, 2 great coaches. I love Ben and his program. He's a great guy outside of basketball, and very deserving if they come out on top of us, and obviously I feel we're very deserving if we win the game. So I think it'll be a great contest with a lot of people watching. Every section in Class A settled except ours, so little unique in that stance. So I think it'll be a heck of a good day for a good game.
Coach, you're the only show in town, I guess. So good luck to you and the Eagles, and we'll talk later.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Okay, Destry Sturkel, head coach of the East Grand Forks Sacred Heart Eagles. Of course, there's 32 section champions that need to be crowned in the 4 classes. 31 of the 32 have been crowned. So, yeah, this is it, and we'll wait and see what happens. Should be a great matchup here as the Eagles take on the Greyhounds. Pre-game coaches' comments again brought to you by the Border Bank in Clearbrook and by the Georgetown Farmers Elevator. To sell your grain, call Gary Balsam at 218-236-6661 at the Georgetown Farmers Elevator. Coming up, the starting lineups brought to you by Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North in Ada, and Hugo's Family Marketplace and Hugo's Express, now open in Fosston. Your starting lineups are next after a 2-minute timeout.
Spring is in the air, which means it's time to start thinking about your lawn care. At All That and More, Toro of Fosston, they've got you covered with their spring lawnmower sale. March through May, they're offering $300 off select Time Cutter zero-turn models. Plus, you can take advantage of their special financing offer of up to 0% APR for 42 months. With Toro's cutting-edge technology and All That and More's exceptional service, you can be sure that you're getting the best lawnmower on the market. Get the cut you deserve with All That and More, Toro, located right on Highway 2 West in Fosston.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career, doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
The Benedictine Living Community in Ada is currently hiring for the following positions: Director of Nursing, full-time exempt position; CNA, full and part-time, need not be certified to apply, will train you; Resident Assistant, full-time assisted living position; an RN LPN charge nurse, full-time days and overnights. For more information, log on to blcada.org/jobs or call 218-784-5500. Consider a career with the Benedictine Living Community in Ada.
Bitker Inc. has savings on all farm implement and ag equipment tires during this Ag Month celebration. Thanks to area farms and farm families for your business and for growing the crops to produce the food we enjoy. Bitker Inc. with savings on farm and ag equipment tires. Call Troy the Tire Guy to order your tires today and discover additional savings with multiple tire orders for your farm. Bitker Inc. located between Ada and Halstead. 218-456-7467.
It's time for your starting lineups, brought to you by Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North in Ada, and Hugo's Family Marketplace and Hugo's Express, now open in Fosston. At Ziegler Ag Equipment in Ada, they have a new arrival, 2 new model 2023 Gleaner combines. It's cleaner with Gleaner. Talk to Chuck O'Neill for more details at Ziegler Ag Equipment. Others soon to be on the lot, trade-ins and more new equipment arriving at Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North, Ada. Talk with Chuck O'Neill about the activity, what's sold, and what's available. And again, the starting lineups brought to you by Hugo's Family Marketplace and Hugo's Express, now with their location in Fosston. For East Grand Forks Sacred Heart, they'll start with number 3, Josiah Sunby, a 5'5 junior. Number 4, Parker Erickson, a 6'3 sophomore. Number 5, Breck Bloom, a 6'1 senior. Number 10, Ethan Arnson, a 6'3 senior. And number 23, Landon Denny, a 6'5 senior. So the Eagles are starting 3 seniors, a junior, and a sophomore this afternoon. Josiah Sunby, Parker Erickson, Breck Bloom, Ethan Arnson, and Landon Denny, the starting 5 for the Eagles, are 26-4, the defending Section 8A champions, the number 1 seed from the west side. Their head coach Destry Sturkel, and the Eagles come in having won 9 of 10. For the Greyhounds of Fosston, they'll start with number 3, Aaron Norland, a 5'9 senior. Number 4, Cullen Norland, a 5'10 senior. Number 5, Carson Bushy, a 6'2 senior. Number 10, Zach Tice, a 6'1 senior. And number 23, Darren Sculla, a 5'11 senior. An all-senior starting lineup for the Greyhounds. Aaron Norland, Cullen Norland, Carson Bushy, Zach Tice, and Darren Sculla. For the Greyhounds, they're coached by Ben Hemberger. Greyhounds are 25-5, the number 1 seed from the East subsection, and they come in having won 13 of 15. Those are the lineups brought to you by Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North in Ada, and Hugo's Family Marketplace and Hugo's Express, now open in Fosston. The opening tap moments away on KKCQ, KRJB, and your live event. We're back in 2 minutes.
You won this year's chili cook-off. Our girls played in the softball finals last spring. You're not just another policyholder to us. We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
He remembered my name.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense.
River's Edge Insurance Agency, Halstead. 218-456-2172.
Jeff, Mary, Dan, Sarah.
A and 4A classes, but this is the last section champion to be crowned. Sacred Heart wearing the dark uniforms with the gold numerals and the gold trim. The Greyhounds wearing the white uniforms here this afternoon. Again, this game was supposed to have been played last night, but due to the weather, we are going to play this afternoon. Fosston will be going from my right to left, and Bushy's out there and Sculla's out there. Both, I don't want to say game time decisions, but both battling injuries. Bushy, a bad ankle. Sculla, well, he's got a kind of a bum knee, but that wrist is the big concern. Landon Denny's going to step into the circle to take the jump ball here for East Grand Forks Sacred Heart. So Denny and Bushy bump fists, and we're almost set to get this game underway here. Sacred Heart winning it all last year and took home the consolation championship. Did very well in the state tournament. Greyhounds control the tap and we're underway. Cullen Norland with the ball, gets it across the timeline over to Sculla on the right side. A lot of length on this Sacred Heart team defensively. Here's Cullen Norland at the top of the key, dribbles over to his left, now the right-handed dribble, bounce pass to Tice. Tice trying to get the shot off, and there's a shot contested, no good. And Parker Erickson with a rebound, and that's where the length is gonna come into play here for Sacred Heart. Now the Eagles with their first possession of the afternoon. This is Bloom with it out on top. Sunby, Josiah Sunby, a 5'5" junior, not very tall, but he is a great point guard. Erickson with the ball, and the Eagles will reset. We're not anticipating a real high-scoring game here today. Here's Sunby with it, guarded by Cullen Norland. And they work it back out. Arnson will hand the ball off, and here's a drive down the lane, and the shot off the lip of the rim, no good. It goes out of bounds off of the Eagles. It went out off of Denny. So the Greyhounds will have the basketball. We're scoreless 53 seconds into the game, and everybody back on defense for Sacred Heart. No full court press here, and the Greyhounds will get it across the center line. Cullen Norland over on the right wing to Aaron Norland. 1 minute in the game. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Cullen Norland, top of the key to Tice. Tice over to Aaron Norland, right side to Bushy. Here's Bushy playing with a bad ankle, but he's out there. Now Tice at the top of the key. Tice can't penetrate. Bushy fakes the three, takes the dribble. Bushy dishes off to Tice. He fakes the three. Baseline, Bushy, base shot, good! Carson Bushy scores, and the Greyhounds have a 2-0 lead. Now the Eagles bring it up the floor. Josiah Sunby with the ball, guarded by Aaron Norland. Defense is going to be a big, big thing here today. Arnson hands it off now to Erickson. Erickson defended by Cullen Norland. Hands the ball off to Ethan Arnson. Arnson, a 6'3" senior. Eagles graduated 2,000-point scorers last year. Here's Erickson with the ball. Erickson off the ball fake in the corner. Throws it back out to Sunby. 16:07 left to go here in the first half. The Greyhounds with a 2-0 lead. Sunby in the corner. Three-point shot off the front rim. No good. Easy rebound for Carson Bushy. And the Greyhounds with a 2-0 lead and the basketball after Bloom missed the three. Here's Aaron Norland with the ball for the Greyhounds. Backs up, dumps it off to Sculla. Now Tice with it. Zach Tice, all seniors, starting five for the Greyhounds, and two of their top reserves come off the bench as seniors. Carson Bushy for three, off the rim, no good. And boxing out and letting the rebound go out of bounds is Sunby. So Carson Bushy had a good look there. He hit 8 threes against Ada Borup West earlier this week and had 29 points in that game against the Cougars. 2.5 minutes have gone by, 2 points on the board. Greyhounds with the lead on a Carson Bushy layup. And now the Eagles set it up to Sunby. Sunby with it inside the circle. Here's a drive. Arnson to the basket. They're going to call a travel, I think. Yep. And that's the first turnover for either team as the Sacred Heart Eagles turn it over to the Greyhounds with 15:21 left to go here in the first half. The opening tap tonight brought to you by Marcusson Accounting at 784-6002. Marcusson Accounting sponsoring the opening tap for today's game. Here's Tice out on top. Carson Bushy to Colin Norland. His pass tipped out of bounds. Stepping into the passing lane there and knocking that out was Arnson for East Grand Forks Sacred Heart. 2-0 Greyhounds, and we're almost 3 minutes into the game. Tyson bounds with the bounce pass to Carson Bushy, who gets it back to Zach Tice. Tice to Aaron Norland over on the right side to Sculla. Sculla with a hard bounce pass to Carson Bushy, left wing to Aaron Norland. Norland out on top. Here's Norland, that's Cullen over to Bushy. Bushy dumps it off to Sculla. He'll fling it out to Cullen Norland over to Aaron Norland, top of the key. Tice fakes the three, takes the lane, kicks it out. Sculla shoots a three, and it's no good. Big offensive rebound for Cullen Norland. Greyhounds get it back, and then it's stripped away. So the Greyhounds come up short on that possession, and now the Eagles trying to get on the scoreboard here. It's still 2-0 Fosston, 3.5 minutes into the game. Erickson out at the point for East Grand Forks Sacred Heart. Over on the left side to Sunby. Sunby with a bounce pass. Arnson in the lane, dumps it into Denny. Denny strong to the basket, up and in, and the Eagles finally get on the board with 14:15 left to go here in the first half. This game tied at 2. Tice with the ball for the Greyhounds, hands it off to Aaron Norland. Norland with the top of the key, left side to Sculla, out on top to Tice. Here's Zach with the drive, nowhere to go, kicks it out. Bushy, Carson for three, and it's no good. And the three-pointers are not dropping yet for the Greyhounds here this afternoon. Arnson grabs his first rebound. Sunby with the ball for Sacred Heart, lost the dribble, gets it back under control, trapped in the corner, gets it into Denny. Denny in the paint, Denny up and in. Denny with a couple of close range buckets, and Sacred Heart with their first lead of the day at 4-2. Now Cullen Norland with the ball out to Tice. Tice with it, Tice on the drive, kicks it out. Carson Bushy for three, and that's no good. And now Arnson grabs a rebound. Here come the Eagles the other way. And that length is causing some problems for the Greyhounds. They're going to have to hit the outside shot. There's a three-pointer, no good for Erickson. Rebound for Zach Tice, his first board of the day. 13:10 left to go in the first half. No fouls yet. Aaron Norland over on the left side to Cullen Norland. Top of the key to Aaron Norland. Aaron in the corner. Bushy fakes the three, steps back, kicks it out to Sculla. Sculla with the ball for the Greyhounds. Sculla tied up, backdoor pass stolen away by Denny, and the Greyhounds turn the ball over. Here comes Sunby across the center line over on the right side. Arnson with the ball fake, and he gets fouled. There's your first foul of the game. And it took over 5 minutes before it was called. And this will be a shooting foul for Arnson. The Mustangs Seeds free throw line. Fouls on Aaron Norland. That's his first and the team's first. Arnson is 6'3", senior, number 10 at the line, and the first one is good. So the Eagles have scored 5 in a row. Palyabicki is going to come in for Carson Bushy. Second free throw coming up for Arnson, and it's good. So Arnson hits them both, and the Eagles on a 6-0 run. They lead 6-2, 12:39 left to go in the first half. Here's Cullen Norland with a pass to Sculla, fakes a handoff, takes it to the rack, and he missed the layup, and the rebound controlled by Sacred Heart. Oh, the Greyhounds can't buy a bucket early on here. Sacred Heart brings it the other way. And they set it up. Here's Erickson with it in the front court. Dumps it off now to Bloom. And they run a little weave here. This is Sunby with it. Sunby strong to the basket, and he got fouled, and the Eagles are getting to the line. They'll shoot 2 more free throws. And this will be Sunby at the stripe. Fouls on Sculla, his first and the team's second. Josiah Sunby, the junior, at the line to shoot a pair of free throws for Sacred Heart. And they have Sunby at the line. He makes the first one. And that's a 7-0 nothing run now for Sacred Heart. They didn't score until 3 minutes and 45 seconds had gone by, but they have scored 7 in a row since, make it 8. So Sunby hits them both. And the Eagles start 4 for 4 at the Mustang Seeds free throw line. They lead 8-2. Almost 6 minutes have gone by. Greyhounds have 2 points on the board. That's it. Sculla on the far side. Sculla with a left-handed dribble out on top to Aaron Norland, over on the right side to Tice. Tice top of the key to Cullen. Norland over on the left side to Sculla. Sculla to Tice. Tice out to Sculla. Sculla for 3, and that's no good. And Denny grabs his third rebound, or his first rebound actually, for Sacred Heart. So the Greyhounds struggling from the outside. That was certainly not the case in the 2 previous games that they played here at Engelstad Arena. Denny lobs it out on top. Bloom over on the right side. Bloom to Erickson, and he'll reset the offense. Sunby with it on the left side for Sacred Heart. Arnson with the ball. Arnson in the paint, kicks it out. 3-point shot by Bloom. It's good. Bloom hits a 3. It's an 11-0 run for Sacred Heart, and the Greyhounds will take a timeout. Timeout's brought to you by the Fosston A&W on Highway 2 West in Fosston and Freedom Fuel on the Lakes Community Cooperative and Linfors Insurance Agency scoreboard. Sacred Heart 11, Fosston 2.
Service is something that's taken very seriously at the Bennett Hoagland Agency of Ada and Moorhead. John Wayne and Marissa know that service is important to you, their customer. They keep you informed and educated on the latest changes in crop insurance coverage and giving you fast claim services. John Wayne and Marissa at the Bennett Hoagland Agency have the experience and involvement with crop insurance, which helps to better serve the area farmer with crop insurance information. They thank you for your business, and they remind you, if you have any questions about crop insurance, visit them at the Bennett Hoagland Agency of Ada and Moorhead.
Greyhounds are getting some looks from the outside, but are not hitting them. And they also had a missed layup in there. Here's Tice. Hudson Bushy over to Aaron Norland on the left side. Norland back, left elbow shot by Cullen Norland. That rims out, and another rebound for Sacred Heart. Denny pulls down his second. Another one-and-done possession for the Greyhounds. So the Eagles have the basketball. Sunby kicks it out. Erickson to Sunby on the right side. Right elbow, this is Denny with the ball. Denny for East Grand Forks. Sacred Heart leaning in, goes to his left, and the shot is good. And this size differential is becoming very evident right now as the Greyhounds are down 13-2. Here's Tice Palyabicki on the right side to Hudson Bushy. Now Tice with the ball, dribbles behind the back. Here's Tice over on the left side. Palyabicki to Aaron Norland. Norland throws it away, but it's picked up by Hudson Bushy, and the Greyhounds keep the possession. Hudson Bushy to Tice, and Tice inside the lane, trying to kick it out, stolen away, and the Greyhounds turn the ball over for the 3rd time off the steal by Josiah Sunby. Sunby over to Isaac Sunby. Arnson, right elbow, shoots, came up short, line drive rebound to Hudson Bushy, and the Greyhounds bring it the other way, looking for some kind of offense. Cullen Norland out to Aaron Norland. Aaron out on the wing. Hudson Bushy with the ball, and he'll back up. 9:44 left to go in the first half, and the Greyhounds are down 13-2. Tice with it at the top of the key, right side. Hudson Bushy with the ball. Back over to Cullen Norland to Hudson Bushy. Hudson with the penetration, swatted away, and they're going to call a foul. Ooh, that was close to a clean block, and the Greyhounds are going to go to the free throw line. Parker Erickson blocking the shot of Bushy, Hudson Bushy, but got some of Hudson's arm on the way down. So 2 free throws here for Hudson Bushy as the Greyhounds try to end a 13-0 run, and the first one's no good. And boy, as well as the Greyhounds shot, especially in that Fertile Beltrami game the other night, it's not happening today. Mike Gap in the game now for East Grand Forks Sacred Heart. Greg Downs, a sophomore, also in. Second one good. So Hudson Bushy makes 1 out of 2. That ends a 13-0 run for Sacred Heart, and they lead 13-3, 9:24 left in the first half. Sunby with the ball, hands it off to Bloom. Back out, Sunby. Here's Josiah Sunby. Passing it over on the left side, and they're going to call a double dribble on Sacred Heart, their second turnover. So the Greyhounds trying to take advantage of a Sacred Heart turnover here with 9:09 left to go in the first half. It's a 13-3 lead for East Grand Forks Sacred Heart, the Section 8A Boys Basketball Championship. Colin Norland over on the right side. Here's Carson Bushy, give and go to Aaron Norland. Aaron with a lot of contact, and he got fouled. Again, the Eagles thought it was a clean block, but Aaron Norland with a chance to pick up a couple of points at the free throw line. First personal foul on Downs, second team foul on Sacred Heart. Aaron Norland at the line, and the first one is no good. Offensively, a very un-Fosston-like performance up to this point. Not making the free throws and not making the three-pointers. Second one is good. So Aaron Norland hits 1 out of 2. It's 13-4. Sacred Heart by 9. We've hit the halfway point of the first half. Sunby with a pass inside the circle. Hands it off. Over on the right side, gap to Sunby. Bounce pass played on the short hop there by Arnson. Arnson kicks it back out, and they reset to Sunby at the top of the key. Josiah Sunby out at the point, guarded by Aaron Norland. 8:37 left to go in the first half. Sacred Heart leads at 13-4. Here's a dribble. Arnson almost slipped and fell, and a pass underneath the basket, and no, what a play by Downs. He caught the pass. He's 6'5", and he took advantage of that. And it's 15-4 Sacred Heart. So now the Greyhounds set it up in the front court. Hudson Bushy out on top to Aaron Norland. Over on the left side, Carson Bushy with the ball. Bushy to Cullen Norland. Norland underneath to Carleen. Tony leans in, kicks it out. Aaron Norland for three. Got it! Oh, a much-needed triple by Aaron Norland. The senior hits it, and it's 15-7. Sacred Heart with an 8-point lead. 7:53 left in the first half. Josiah Sunby hands it off. Arnson back to Isaac Sunby. Josiah Sunby on the far side, right in front of the Greyhound bench. Over on the right wing to Isaac Sunby. Isaac is a freshman for Sacred Heart. Now Josiah Sunby with it at the top of the key with 7.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Left-handed pass in the corner. Now they get it back out, pass deflected by Aaron Norland, but picked up there by Josiah Sunby. Sacred Heart will reset the offense here with 7:21 left to go in the first half. Here's Downs. He had a bucket just a moment ago. Sunby with the ball, top of the key. Arnson off the fake, right elbow, trying to drive, and it's knocked out of his hands cleanly by Cullen Norland. And Arnson will get helped up off the floor by a couple of Greyhound players. 15-7 our score. Now they're going to call a foul there on the Greyhounds. Cullen Norland's first and the team's third. So Arnson at the line where he's 2 for 2. And the first one is no good. 15-7, Sacred Heart by 8 with 7:11 left to go in the first half. Tice is back in the game now for the Greyhounds. And Arnson will shoot his second free throw here for East Grand Forks Sacred Heart. And it is up and it is good. That'll make it 16-7, Sacred Heart with the lead. Sacred Heart 5 for 6 as a team at the free throw line. Now Tice to the ball out on top to Hudson Bushy. Cullen Norland with the ball. Norland, Scala, right side. Hudson Bushy backs up, picks up the dribble. Bushy in trouble. They're trying to trap Norland. He throws it over the trap to Tice. Now Scala with a quick drive to the basket. Up and oh, they're going to call an offensive foul. No basket. So that'll be the fourth turnover for the Greyhounds, and Scala just picked up his second on the offensive foul, kind of pushed off as he went in for the shot. It went in, but unfortunately for the Greyhounds, it didn't count. So Aaron Norland's going to come into the ball game now for Fosston. He'll check in for Scala, who just got his second foul. 6:50 left to go here in the first half. Sacred Heart with the ball and a 9-point lead, 16-7. Sunby gets it across the timeline, guarded by Hudson Bushy. Now Bloom with the ball. Sunby on the far side. Entry pass into Denny. Denny with a little baby hook, no good. And the rebound controlled by Tice, his second. Here come the Greyhounds. Tice in the corner to Carson Bushy, out to Aaron Norland. Cullen Norland in the circle, out on the wing. Here's Carson Bushy, Hudson Bushy. Now Tice on the left wing to Aaron Norland. Norland with the ball, top of the key to Carson Bushy, over to Hudson. Hudson Bushy holds on to it. Tice with it. Fakes the three, takes the lane, had it knocked away, picks it up, fakes the pass, backs up. He'll take the shot, and it's rejected by Denny, and Denny comes up with the basketball. Boy, some big stops defensively here by East Grand Forks Sacred Heart. They're making it tough for the Greyhounds underneath. Arnson with the ball for Sacred Heart, and he'll dump it off now to Parker Erickson with 5:52 left to go in the first half. Erickson with it inside the lane. Erickson, right elbow, leans in, shoots in and out and back in for Erickson. His first field goal, and 18-7 is our score. Sacred Heart up by 11 with 5:37 left in the first half. The winner goes to state. Norland, Cullen Norland over to Tice on the right side. Top of the key to Aaron Norland, over to Cullen Norland. Norland with the ball for the Greyhounds, top of the key. Bushy to Aaron Norland, slams on the brakes, step back, shot good by Aaron Norland. He's got 6, and the Greyhounds are down 18-9 with 5:14 left to go in the first half. Sunby will leave it off for Parker Erickson. He'll get it across the logo at center court here at Engelstad Arena. Now Sunby on the far side, entry pass. Arnson getting open for the bank shot. 2 more points for the big guy, and Sacred Heart now leads it by the score at 20-9. Arnson with 5 points. Now the Greyhounds have the ball. Aaron Norland on the left side. Norland out on top to Tice. Right wing to Carson Bushy. He'll shoot the 3. There we go. Carson Bushy hits a 3, and it's 20-12. Sacred Heart with an 8-point lead. 4:37 left in the first half. Sunby gets it across the timeline and pushes it over to Parker Erickson. Erickson with it at the top of the key, over to Isaac Sunby, the 5'2 freshman. Out on top, now Sunby with the ball, fakes the 3, guarded by Hudson Bushy. Erickson with it out at the point for Sacred Heart, guarded by Aaron Norland. Norland lost his footing a little bit. Arnson out at the point now, guarded by Cullen Norland. Arnson with the ball, and he'll hand it off now to Sunby. Isaac Sunby getting it back out. Erickson with the ball. Erickson dribbles forward. Erickson with a pass into Denny. Denny off the triple team, kicks it out. The 3 by Erickson is good. He got a friendly bounce off the lip of the rim. 23-12 Sacred Heart. Cullen Norland races the other way. Now Tice to the ball. Carson Bushy, Hudson Bushy for 3, and it's no good. And Denny crashes the boards for his 4th rebound for Sacred Heart. Greyhounds cannot get an offensive rebound here. They didn't have many the other night against Fertile Beltrami, but that's because he only missed 6 shots in the whole game. Sunby with it on the far side for Sacred Heart. Lobs it out on top to Arnson. He's having trouble with the ball. Stolen away by Cullen Norland. He leaves it off for Tice. A collision at center court and a foul called on the Eagles. That's their 3rd turnover, and that'll be their 3rd team foul. So the foul's on Denny, his first, team's 3rd, and the Greyhounds will inbound at center court. 3:17 left to go here in the first half. On the Lakes Community Cooperative and Linfors Insurance Agency scoreboard, 23-12, Sacred Heart with the lead. Zach Tice will inbound at center court for Fosston. Pass comes into Cullen Norland. Palyabicki out there on the floor right now. Skella on the bench with 2 fouls. Back door, Cullen Norland up and went off of Palyabicki and out of bounds. Turnover number 6 for the Greyhounds. They tried the back door play and it looked like it might have worked, but Palyabicki couldn't handle the pass. So 3:10 left to go here in the first half. 23-12, Sacred Heart up by 11 with the basketball. Eagles get it across the center line. Pass to Denny on the right elbow. Denny holds on to it. Here's a long shot off the back rim by Bloom. No good. Rebound yanked out of there by Aaron Norland. And here come the Greyhounds. Outlet to Cullen Norland. Pass to Tice. Tice inside the paint. Throws up a contested shot. No good. And the rebound controlled by East Grand Forks Sacred Heart. And here's a long pass down the floor. And oh, it went in. What a play. Parker Erickson catching the ball in midair. Not really a true alley-oop, but the next best thing to it. And it's now a 25-12 lead for East Grand Forks Sacred Heart. Erickson with a nice catch and shot there. Tice right elbow to Aaron Norland, out to Bushy. Carson Bushy. Carson throws, looking for Aaron Norland, dumps it off to Aaron. 2:10 left to go here in the first half. Bushy, Cullen Norland to Tice. Tice with the ball, top of the key to Aaron Norland, over to Bushy. Carson Bushy dribbles a couple of times, hands it off to Colin Norland. Aaron Norland with a three-pointer, and it's off the back rim, no good. Rebound for Tice. Tice with the ball, twisting, turning, shooting, and missing. Tice tips the rebound, but he tipped it right to Sunby. Here come the Eagles in transition. Sunby with the ball, kicks it out to Erickson, top of the key to Sunby. East Grand Forks Sacred Heart with the ball. Sunby inside to Denny. Denny out on the wing. Here's a three-pointer by Erickson. Off the back rim, no good. And Tice able to tip the rebound. They're going to call a foul here on Sacred Heart with 1:28 left to go in the first half. This will be their fourth team foul. And the foul's on Gap. Mike Gap with his first. Team fouls 4 apiece. And the Greyhounds will inbound in the backcourt. Fosston's led once at 2-0. And the Eagles went on a 13-0 run. Aaron Norland with a pass to Tice. Tice throws it back out to Aaron Norland, and he'll reset with 1:13 left to go in the first half. Aaron Norland, the pass deflected and stolen away. Turnover number 7 for the Greyhounds. Sunby with the ball, gets it across the center line, and the Eagles set it up. Josiah Sunby over on the right side to Breck Bloom. Bloom with it at the top of the key. And here's a drive. Arnson in the paint, kicks it back out, and they'll reset. Erickson over on the left wing. They set the screen high. Denny set the screen. Pass in the corner to Erickson. Parker Erickson, 44 seconds remaining in the half. Erickson gets it back out to Josiah Sunby. Eagles lead by 13, 25-12. Sunby off the screen. They tried the pick and roll, but now Denny with the ball. Denny on the far side of the paint, leaning in, takes the contested shot, and it went in, but they're going to wave it off. They're going to call an offensive foul. So Denny picks it up, and that's his second and the team's fifth. So the Greyhounds catch a break there. The Greyhounds haven't faced many teams with the length and the size of East Grand Forks Sacred Heart this year. And it's causing them some problems. Cullen Norland with the ball. Out on top to Tice. Tice with it over on the right side to Aaron Norland. 15 seconds left in the half. Carson Bushy fakes the three. Now Aaron Norland to Tice. 10 seconds left in the half. Tice with it on the far side. Crossover dribble. Out on the wing to Aaron Norland. Norland in the circle. Shoots off the back rim. No good. Palibicki with the rebound out to Tice. Tice at the buzzer. No good. Came up way short. And that'll take us to halftime. Well, a 13-0 run, paying big dividends for East Grand Forks Sacred Heart. And on the Lakes Community Cooperative and Linfors Insurance Agency scoreboard, it is 25-12 in favor of East Grand Forks Sacred Heart. Our halftime report brought to you by the Linfors Insurance Agency in Ada, Mahnomen, Fosston, Bagley, Clearbrook, and Fertile. 218-435-6585. We're back with the halftime report after this 3-minute timeout.
Have you seen the huge selection of used vehicles that Christian Motors of Fertile has? Stop by the lot, talk with one of the guys about the huge selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, and so much more. They've got a great selection of used vehicles right now. You can view them at christianmotors.com or christiancarsonline.com. One of the biggest selection of used vehicles around, it's Christian Motors. They're proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer, Highway 32 North in Fertile.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. Many factors impact your ability to increase profits on the farm. Make sure your planter is an asset and not a liability. Some limiting factors in making the perfect planter pass are row maintenance, meter calibration, and downforce management. It will not cost you anything to have the conversation about identifying those limiting factors. Call RDK Enterprises 701-636-2119 or planterdoc.com.
Founded upon our Benedictine heritage of prayer and work, Sacred Heart Catholic School promotes faith in Jesus Christ, educates youth, and ministers to all. At Sacred Heart, it's not just about education, but about the formation of the person, mind, body, and soul. By living each day the Eagle Way, today's students will become tomorrow's leaders. To learn more about the Sacred Heart School or to view activity schedules, teachers' pages, and more, visit sacredheartegf.net.
Every business has its special needs and its own unique set of challenges. That's why we treat your business just like ours, to make sure you are covered right. Hello, this is Shane with Irie Insurance, and our agents have seen it all, and one slip-up can take a small business years to recover from. That's why it's so important for a small business to work with an insurance company that can save them money but also make sure they are protected. If you own a small business, we would like to work for you. Go to IrieInsurance.com to find a local agent near you.
The Halstead Living Center, Heritage House in Halstead, and the Normandy in Twin Valley present an atmosphere that is calm and comfortable. Whether you're in need of a short-term or long-term care stay, they offer a variety of first-rate services with a tailored plan to exceed your expectations at any level of care, including senior living with services, skilled nursing care, rehabilitation care, respite, hospice, or adult daycare. Get more information by going to halsteadlivingcenter.com or call 218-456-2105.
Okay, we're back here at Ralph Engelstad Arena. Coverage of the Section 8A Boys Basketball Championship game. East Grand Forks Sacred Heart leading Fosston at the break here, 25-12. So we're glad you're joining us, whether it be on KKCQ 96.7 FM, KRJB 106.5 FM, the World Wide Web at rjbroadcasting.com. Also broadcasting on your live event. East Grand Forks Sacred Heart with the lead at halftime here, 25-12. Fosston took an early 2-0 lead, and then Sacred Heart didn't score until 3 minutes and 45 seconds had gone by. Or, I'm sorry, 2 minutes and 45 seconds had gone by. That's when they scored their first points at the 14-15 mark, and then they went nuts. They went on a 13-0 run to take a 13-2 lead. And the Greyhounds have been trying to fight back ever since. Greyhounds have been getting some looks, but the shot's not dropping. And like we've said several times here, Sacred Heart using their size advantage defensively and offensively. And Sacred Heart right now with the lead, 25-12 at halftime. Let's run through the numbers here. Fosston had 4 fouls in the first half. Darren Sculla had 2. Cullen Norland had 1, and Aaron Norland had 1. And East Grand Forks Sacred Heart, they had 5 fouls. Denny had 2, and Downs, Erickson, and Gap each had 1 foul for East Grand Forks Sacred Heart. So 4 fouls on the Greyhounds, 5 on the Eagles. Greyhounds were 2 for 4 at the free throw line. Aaron Norland was 1 for 2. Hudson Bushy was 1 for 2. And the Eagles, they were 5 of 6 at the free throw line. Josiah Sunby 2 for 2, and Ethan Arnson was 3 for 4 at the line. Turnovers, Greyhounds had 7, the Eagles had 4. And as far as three-point shooting is concerned, the Greyhounds hit 2. Aaron Norland had 1, and Carson Bushy had 1. But the Greyhounds were held to 2 3-pointers and 2 two-point field goals in the first half, plus their 2 free throws. So that was the extent of their scoring. The Eagles hit 2 threes. Parker Erickson hit 1, and Breck Bloom hit a 3 for East Grand Forks Sacred Heart. Under the boards for the Greyhounds, Aaron Norland had 1, Cullen Norland had 1, Carson Bushy had 1, Zach Tice had 3, Hudson Bushy had 1, and Thatcher Palubicki had a rebound. And for East Grand Forks Sacred Heart, Parker Erickson had 1, Ethan Arnson had 2, Landon Denny had 4 rebounds for East Grand Forks Sacred Heart. Scoring totals, Greyhounds, Aaron Norland had 6 points, Carson Bushy had 5, and Hudson Bushy had 1. And for Sacred Heart, Parker Erickson had 7, Landon Denny had 6, Ethan Arnson had 5, Breck Bloom had 3, and Josiah Sunby and Greg Downs each had 2 for Sacred Heart. The Eagles with the lead over the Greyhounds, 25-12. We'll be back with more on the halftime report as the Eagles lead the Greyhounds 25-12 at halftime. We're back after a 3-minute timeout.
To play this winter, do it in Ada. Ada has an ice skating rink, snowmobiling, snowshoe and cross-country ski trails. And stop in Ada on your way to and from any other activities. Meet your friends, have a bite to eat. Or if you're in the mood for a swim and not quite ready for a polar plunge, swim with family and friends at the indoor pool at the Deco Center. Ada also has its event center ready to host meetings or family events. Welcome to Ada, alive and thriving.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Spring is in the air, which means it's time to start thinking about your lawn care. At All That and More, Toro of Fosston, they've got you covered with their spring lawnmower sale. March through May, they're offering $300 off select Time Cutter zero-turn models. Plus, you can take advantage of their special financing offer of up to 0% APR for 42 months. With Toro's cutting-edge technology and All That and More's exceptional service, you can be sure that you're getting the best lawnmower on the market. Get the cut you deserve with All That and More, Toro, located right on Highway 2 West in Fosston.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
The Benedictine Living Community in Ada is currently hiring for the following positions: Director of Nursing, full-time exempt position. CNA, full and part-time, need not be certified to apply, will train you. Resident Assistant, full-time assisted living position. An RN LPN charge nurse, full-time days and overnights. For more information, log on to blcada.org/jobs or call 218-784-5500. Consider a career with the Benedictine Living Community in Ada.
Bitker Inc. has savings on all farm implement and ag equipment tires during this Ag Month celebration. Thanks to area farms and farm families for your business and for growing the crops to produce the food we enjoy. Bitker Inc. with savings on farm and ag equipment tires. Call Troy the Tire Guy to order your tires today and discover additional savings with multiple tire orders for your farm. Bitker Inc. located between Ada and Halstead. 218-456-7467.
Back here at Engelstead Arena in Thief River Falls, some other teams qualifying for state out of Class 3A: Stewartville, Mankato East, De La Salle, Totino Grace, St. Francis, Orono, Hermantown, and Alexandria. And in 4A, Lakeville North, Minnetonka, Eastview, White Bear Lake area, Park Center, Wayzata, Andover, and Buffalo punching their tickets to state. They're going to seed at 4:30 this afternoon, waiting for the outcome of this one here. Sacred Heart going from my right to left in the second half. And Parker Erickson will inbound. The Eagles up by 13, 25-12. Second half underway. Sunby to Parker Erickson. He is defended by Colin Norland. Erickson pushes off a little bit and not even close to a foul. Josiah Sunby with it on the near side. The defending section champion Sacred Heart Eagles with the lead right now. Arnson with the ball over on the right side. This is Erickson with the left-handed dribble. Erickson in the dish, stolen away by Aaron Norland, and that's turnover number 5 for Sacred Heart. Aaron Norland leaves it off for Cullen Norland over on the right side to Scala. Scala missing part of that first half after getting a second foul. Little alley-oop to Bushy from Norland. It's good. Norland with the assist. Carson Bushy catching it and laying it in. An alley-oop giving the Greyhounds the first 2 points of the second half. And the Eagles lead by 11 now at 25-14. That's what the Greyhounds needed, a good start to the second half. Here's Bloom over on the right side. Arnson with a left-handed dribble going to his right. Arnson kicks it out on the wing. Bounce pass to Sunby. Josiah open for the 3-ball. It's good. Oh, a big answer by the guard. 5'5" junior Josiah Sunby, 28-14. Sacred Heart up by 14 now. Big answer by Sunby. Colin Norland over on the left side. Carson Bush, he fakes it to, and he got called for travel and he tweaked that ankle. Carson's going to have to come out of the game. And Hudson Bushy will check in. Yeah, that was the reason he traveled. He just, that strength in that ankle is not there. 28-14, Sacred Heart. 16:38 left to go, second half. Here's Sunby across the center line. Sundby leaves it off for Arnson on the left wing. Arnson right side of the lane, kicks it off in the corner. 3-point shot, bounces off the rim, no good for Bloom, and the rebound cleared away there by the Greyhounds, and they bring it the other way. Tice with the ball. Tice attacking the baseline in the lane, and now they kick it out to Sculla. Sculla with the dribble, a little push off, and the shot blocked. Sundby comes up with the ball. Big stop defensively for Sacred Heart. Josiah Sundby dribbling behind the back, gets it across the timeline, leaves it off for Erickson, back out to Sundby. Sundby holds on to it. Sundby with the ball. Every possession is really big now, especially for the Greyhounds, who need some stops on defense. Arnson off the fake, the drive, the bank shot wouldn't go. Denny tips the rebound to himself, his 5th of the game. Here's Erickson to the baseline shot, it's good. Parker Erickson, the 10th grader, scores, and it's 30-14. Sacred Heart by 16. Aaron Norland to Tice. Tice shooting a 3 there. Tice able to knock one down, his first 3 of the day. And it's 30-17. Sacred Heart with a 13-point lead. 15:25 left to go in the game. Sundby with it for East Grand Forks. Sacred Heart hands it off to Parker Erickson. Back to Sundby on the left side. He's guarded by Aaron Norland. Bounce pass. Arnson into Denny. Denny in the paint. Try to get the shot off. Knocked away, but he picks up the loose ball. And he kicks it out now to Erickson. Erickson with a left-handed dribble over to Sundby. Sundby with the ball for Sacred Heart. Baseball pass cross court. And Arnson in the corner. Had it knocked away and stolen away by Tice. Sacred Heart with their 6th turnover. Greyhounds have numbers, and Tice will take it in himself, but he missed the layup. Oh, the Greyhounds miss a golden opportunity, and Denny with the rebound. Sundby bounce pass to Bloom for the 3, and it's no good. Rebound off the floor for Cullen Norland. His 2nd long outlet to Aaron Norland. Hudson Bushy wide open. He scores. Hudson Bushy with 3, and it's 30-19. Sacred Heart by 11. 14:29 left to go in the second half. Josiah Sundby with the ball for Sacred Heart. Sundby with it, getting it out to Arnson. Now they kick it out on the wing. 3-point shot. Erickson way off the mark. Offensive rebound, though, for Arnson, and they're going to call a foul on the Greyhounds. Our first on either team here in the second half. Nope. Sculla just got his 3rd foul. Sculla's going to come out. Hudson Bushy's going to come out. Carson Bushy back in the game with that sore ankle. Inbounds pass to Denny. Denny with a baby hook, no good. And the rebound, Aaron Norland trying to save it, unable to do so. Went out of bounds off the Greyhounds. Sacred Heart will get it back again. Parker Erickson will inbound for Sacred Heart. Looking, and now flings it over the defense into Josiah Sundby. 14:07 left to go in the game. Arnson with it on the left side, top of the key to Denny. Denny over on the right wing. This is Bloom with the ball in the corner to Sundby. Sundby looking at Erickson at the top of the key. Sundby with the dribble, guarded by Aaron Norland. 13:50 left to go. Sacred Heart with an 11-point lead. Here's Sundby, no look pass in the corner. 3-point shot, good! Oh, wide open in the corner was Gap, and he nailed it from deep in the left corner. His first points of the afternoon. Here's an answer by Tyson. He got fouled. So Gap hitting the 3-point shot, but now a foul on the other end of the floor on Sacred Heart, and Tice will go to the Mustang Seeds free throw line to shoot 2. Arnson picks up his first and the team's first. Zach Tice at the line for the first time. Greyhounds are 2 for 4 at the stripe as a team. First one is good. And Tice with 4 points. Well, that was a big 3-point shot there by Gap. Second one, good. So Tice with 5 points. 33-21. Sacred Heart by a dozen. 13:29 left to go. Lots of time left. Sacred Heart with the ball. Parker Erickson with it, guarded by Cullen Norland. Norland trying to knock it away. Sacred Heart with the ball. Erickson with it, and they're going to call a foul. No, 5-second violation on Sacred Heart. So there's a nice defensive stop the Greyhounds were looking for. And Fosston will inbound right in front of the Sacred Heart bench. Aaron Norland into Cullen Norland. Back to Aaron Norland with 13:16 left to go in the ball game. Cullen Norland with the ball. Out on top to Tice. Greyhounds have led once. That was 2-0. Aaron Norland, top of the key. Bushy fakes the three, steps back, shoots a three, and is short off the front rim. No good. Arnson with the rebound, his fourth. And here come the Eagles from my right to left, and the Greyhounds are not hitting from the outside today. But now an unforced turnover there by Sunby as he threw it into the Sacred Heart bench. Turnover number 8 for Sacred Heart. Isaac Sunby will check into the game now for East Grand Forks Sacred Heart, and Gap will come out of the game. So the Greyhounds inbound, comes into Aaron Norland, 12:53 left to go in the game. Aaron Norland with the ball for Fosston, bounce pass right side to Cullen Norland. Norland out on top, this is Tice over on the left side. Aaron Norland with the fake. Now Bushy with the ball, Carson Bushy, right wing to Tice. Tice with the long three, good! Oh, Zach Tice knocks down the triple, his second of the afternoon. 33-24, Greyhounds are within 9 with 12:29 left to go in the second half. Now Sunby with the ball. This is Josiah Sunby for Sacred Heart. Swing pass inside to Denny. Lots of contact. The ball squirts loose. We have a jump ball. Arrow belongs to Fosston. Turnover number 9 for Sacred Heart. Well, the Greyhounds could score on this trip down the floor. It'd be the closest they've been in quite some time. Aaron Norland will inbound to Cullen Norland with 12:18 left to go in the game. Cullen Norland across the Prowler logo at center court here at the route. There's a dangerous pass stolen away by Sunby, and he'll take it in, and he scores. Isaac Sunby with a steal and layup, 35-24. Sacred Heart, big play by Sunby. And he's a freshman. Aaron Norland with the ball, lobs it over to Carson Bushy. Bushy to Tice. Tice with it at the top. Entry pass intended for Aaron Norland, off the deflection, picked up by Carson Bushy. Here's Bushy throwing up a baseline runner, came up way short, takes a tumble, and Denny with his 7th rebound. And here's Sunby the other way, gets tied up, the ball squirts loose, it's picked up by Erickson. Out to Sunby. Isaac Sunby with the ball now for East Grand Forks Sacred Heart. Arnson hounded there by the other number 10, Tice. Dangerous pass stolen away there by Cullen Norland. He shoots and scores. Cullen Norland, his first 2 of the day. And it's 35-26, Sacred Heart by 9 again. And the Eagles have the ball. We're down to 11-11 left to go. Section 8A championship game. Josiah Sunby with the ball. Flings it over to Isaac Sunby over on the right side. Arnson sets the screen. And here's a little runner put out by Erickson. It's good. Another answer by East Grand Forks Sacred Heart. Erickson with 11, 37-26. Eagles by 11. Tice off the spin move. Bank shot off the front rim. No good. And Denny with a quick outlet off the rebound. That is Denny's 8th rebound. Isaac Sunby with the ball in the corner. Arnson driving the baseline. Arnson throws it back out. Here's Josiah Sunby in the corner to Arnson. Oh, there's a dagger right there. Arnson hits the 3-point shot. He's got 8, and the Eagles lead 40-26. Big time 3-pointer there by Arnson. Now Aaron Norland with the ball for the Greyhounds. Out on top, Cullen Norland, left side to Tice. Tice fakes the shot inside. Aaron Norland with a pass to Carleen. Tony off the double pump gets it in. Tony Carleen scores. And it's 40-28. The Greyhounds down by a dozen. 10 minutes left to go. Sunby is up the floor, and it's Tice with the ball now for the Greyhounds. Aaron Norland with the ball. 9:37 left to go. This is Carson Bushy to Tice. Tice with it. The way the Greyhounds can hit the 3, it doesn't take long for them to come back sometimes. But they're down by 12 with 9:26 left to go. Tice with it. Tice out to Carson Bushy. Bushy back to Tice. Tice to Aaron Norland. Over to Cullen Norland. Norland at the top of the key for the Greyhounds. Off the ball fake. Cullen Norland throws up the banker, and it wouldn't go, but he got fouled. He'll shoot 2. Cullen Norland will go to the Mustang Seeds free throw line to shoot a pair. Isaac Sunby's first. Cullen Norland at the line for the first time this afternoon. And the first one is short. No good. Boy, the Greyhounds coming up short on a lot of their shots. Greyhounds are going to get, let's see, they have Scala back in the game now. Second free throw is good. So Cullen Norland hits 1 out of 2. And the Greyhounds are within 11 now at 40-29 as we're getting close to the halfway point of the second half. 9:05 on the clock. Sacred Heart with the ball. Isaac Sunby over on the left side to Josiah Sunby. Top of the key. Step back three-pointer won't go for Arnson. Hudson Bushy with his second rebound, and he'll leave it off for Aaron Norland. Norland across the timeline, getting it to Tice. This is Tice over on the right side to Hudson Bushy. Hudson to Aaron Norland. Top of the key to Sculla. Sculla with the ball for the Greyhounds. Back door to Cullen Norland. Cullen leaning in. Step back shot. Good! Cullen Norland in traffic. A contested shot for 2. And the Greyhounds are back to within 9 at 40-31 with 8:28 left to go. So a 3-possession game right now. Arnson out on top. Greg Downs leaves it off on the right side. Ball's knocked loose. They kick it out to Sunby. Josiah Sunby with the ball, guarded by Aaron Norland with 8:11 left to go. Sunby hands it off to Isaac Sunby. Isaac out on the wing. 3-point shot off the rim. No good for Erickson. And Tice comes up with a rebound for the Greyhounds, his 4th of the day. Tice will hand it off to Sculla, out to Aaron Norland. Norland out on the wing. Tice for 3. It just missed it. And oh, what a nice rebound there by Isaac Sunby. Standing at 5'2", the 9th grader wins the battle of the boards there. Here's Sunby in the corner. Isaac Sunby along the baseline. Stolen away by Hudson Bushy. Sacred Heart turns it over. Tice to Aaron Norland. Up ahead to Sculla. Greyhounds down by 9. Sculla in the corner to Cullen Norland. He'll shoot the 3. Good! Cullen Norland for 3. And don't look now, but here come the Greyhounds. It's a 2-possession game as we have a timeout on the floor. 7:28 left to go here in the second half. And it is a 40-34 lead for Sacred Heart on the Lakes Community Cooperative and Linfors Insurance Agency scoreboard. We're back in 30 seconds.
2023 Gleaner Combines at Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada. It's cleaner with Gleaner. Visit with Chuck Arneal for more details. Ziegler Ag Equipment coming soon. Additional trade-ins and more new equipment arriving at Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada. Massey Ferguson 4710 tractor is on the lot. Fendt Model 516 tractor on the lot. Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9 North Ada, 218-784-2961.
Okay, we're back here at Engelstad Arena. This is the closest the Greyhounds have been since it was 8-2. 7:28 left to go, a 2-possession game as the Greyhounds claw their way back. Lots of time left here. Greyhounds were down 25-12 at halftime. They're banged up, but they're giving it everything they've got against a very, very talented East Grand Forks Sacred Heart team. Cullen Norland with 8 points after hitting that 3-pointer, and the Greyhounds will set up on defense and allow the Eagles to bring the ball up the floor. Josiah Sunby off the inbounds from Isaac Sunby. 40-34 Sacred Heart. Josiah Sunby with the ball over to Isaac Sunby on the left side. Sunby with a bounce pass. Arnson off the fake, bumps into Tice, and they're going to call a blocking foul on Tice. That'll be his first and the team's second. So the Eagles will inbound. Parker Erickson will do the honors here for Sacred Heart. Lobs it into Denny. Denny with the ball on the high post left side. Denny leaning in against Sculla. Lots of contact. They let it go, and Denny lays it up and in as Sculla took a nasty trip to the floor there, but 42-34. Big-time play by Denny to give the Eagles an 8-point lead. Hudson Bushy over to Cullen Norland, and the pass stolen away, intended for Bushy, and it's stolen away by Arnson. Turnover number 11 for the Greyhounds this afternoon. Arnson with the ball for Sacred Heart. Now Denny with the ball. Denny trying to dish it off to somebody. Now he's going to take it toward the basket, guarded by Sculla. Sculla's got to be careful. Denny shot an air ball, and it's picked up by Hudson Bushy. Here come the Greyhounds. Bushy shovels it up ahead to Sculla. Sculla out of control, loses it, and the Greyhounds turn the ball over again. Josiah Sunby, back to Isaac Sunby, back to Josiah for the three. No good. Line drive, rebound, control. Oh, the Greyhounds collided with each other, and the ball comes into the hands of Denny instead, and the Eagles get it back. Two Greyhounds collided trying to get the defensive board, and the Eagles get it instead, but there's a turnover. Pass deflected. Cullen Norland comes up with the ball. Sacred Heart with their 12th turnover. Here come the Greyhounds. Here's Tice on the left side. Tice guarded by Denny. Lobs it out. Aaron Norland, left elbow, shoots. Foul on the Eagles. 5:54 left to go here in the second half. Aaron Norland to shoot two. He's 1 for 2 at the Mustang Seeds free throw line. Josiah Sunby's first, team's third. 42-34, Sacred Heart by 8. Greyhounds got it to within 6. They can do it again here. First one's good. Aaron Norland with 7 points. Now it's 42-35. Sacred Heart by 7 with 5:54 left to go in our Section 8A championship game. Aaron Norland at the line. And it's good. He hits them both. A couple of big free throws for the senior. 42-36. Sacred Heart by 6. 5:49 left to go. Here's Erickson with the ball over on the right side. Sunby to Denny at the right elbow. Denny all by himself. Greyhounds almost daring him to take it down the lane. Sunby with a no-look pass to Erickson. Knocked away, stolen away. He had his pocket picked by Aaron Norland. Here come the Greyhounds. Cullen Norland had his pocket picked by Sunby. And the Greyhounds turn it right back over. Here's Arnson for three. Good! Arnson with a huge triple for Sacred Heart. They lead 45-36. What a shot by the big guy. Now the Greyhounds have it with 5:10 left to go. Aaron Norland over on the left side to Tice. Off the fake. Tice to Aaron Norland. Wide open. He scores. And a foul. And one for Aaron Norland. 45-38. The Greyhounds trying to chip away at the deficit. And the foul was called on Isaac Sunby, his second, and the team's fourth. Possible three-point play for Norland. Aaron Norland, who's 3 for 4 at the line. Free throw up, it's good. Aaron Norland with 11 points. 45-39. Again, it's a 6-point lead for Sacred Heart with 5 minutes left to go in regulation. Josiah Sunby with the ball for Sacred Heart. Off the screen high from Arnson. Sunby in the corner, a three by Erickson, good! Oh, Parker Erickson knocks down a big three. 48-39, Sacred Heart. Now Aaron Norland with the ball. Out to Tice, had to reach for it, pulls it in. Hudson Bushy at the top of the key. Over to Tice, and we're down to 4:30 left to go. 48-39, Sacred Heart by 9. Tice with the drive and the shot. It rolls off the rim. Offensive rebound. Cullen Norland, and he misses the putback. Tice with a tip. That won't go. And it's finally pulled out of there by Denny. His 9th rebound of the day. Sunby in the corner. Erickson with the ball now for Sacred Heart. Erickson out on the wing. Arnson off the fake. Arnson with the pass to Denny, and we're going to have a foul called here on Fosston. And I think the Greyhounds are keeping one eye on the clock here. 4:06 left to go. Zach Tice picks up his second. Sacred Heart inbounds. Denny off the inbound, strong to the basket, up and in. And the Greyhounds don't have an answer when he gets that ball underneath. Denny is dangerous, and the Eagles lead 50-39. Tice will shoot a three. No good, and a rebound controlled by Erickson. A quick one-and-done possession for the Greyhounds there. Here's a drive by Josiah Sunby. Here's a three-point shot. It's good. Arnson from deep in the left corner hits another one. He's got 14 points, and it's 53-39. Sacred Heart back up by 14. 3:30 left to go. Big three-point shooting by the Eagles here in the second half, helping them preserve the lead. Here's a drive and a fingertip roll up and in. Cullen Norland scores, and Ben Hemberger will quickly call a timeout. We have 3:20 left to go here in regulation. And the Greyhounds with their backs squarely against the wall against a very good East Grand Forks Sacred Heart team. On the Lakes Community Cooperative and Linfors Insurance Agency scoreboard, it's 53-41. The Eagles lead by a dozen. We're back in 30 seconds.
Diamonds on Demers in Grand Forks, proud to be your local downtown jewelry destination. With access to beautiful gemstones, pearls, diamonds, and so much more, we are here to find the perfect piece for you that will become a cherished keepsake. We believe it's important that you love what you're buying, but also understand what you're buying. We're here to answer all your questions and provide you with excellent customer service. If you don't know jewelry, know the jeweler. Talk with Scott and Angela at Diamonds on Demers, located at 667 Demers Avenue in Grand Forks.
Back here at Engelstad Arena, Tom Lano with you, Mac Robinson, our engineer. Our final trip to the Ralph. Sacred Heart with the ball. They turn it over. A steal by Aaron Norland stole the ball, and Cullen Norland scores. So the Greyhounds get the steal and the layup off the inbounds. Greyhounds trapping, pressing, and Sunby with the ball. A long pass down the floor on the bouncer to Erickson. He goes in, rejected by Sculla. It's going to be a foul. It looked like the Eagles were going to have trouble, and then they broke the press. And Sculla just picked up his fourth foul of the afternoon. Parker Erickson at the line for the first time today for Sacred Heart. 53-43, Sacred Heart by 10. First one is no good. Greyhounds got the steal and the layup by Cullen Norland, and they almost stole it again. But then once the Eagles broke the press, Erickson took it in, got fouled by Sculla. Second one's good. Erickson with 15 points. Sacred Heart 54, Fosston 43, 2:57 left to go. Cullen Norland out to Aaron Norland. Norland with the ball to Tice. This is Tice at the top of the key over on the right side of Sculla. Hudson Bushy over on the left wing to Aaron Norland. Norland in the lane, throws up the shot and hits it. Aaron Norland with 13 points. 54-45, Greyhounds down by 9 with 2:36 left to go. Sunby in the backcourt. Josiah Sunby throws it away. There's a break for the Greyhounds. Turnover number 14 today for Sacred Heart. Greyhounds down by 9 with 2:33 left to go. So Fosston will inbound. Tice will throw it into Aaron Norland, who gets it across the timeline. 2:30 left to go. Tice sets a screen high for Aaron Norland. Aaron with a drive. Oh, Denny swats it out of bounds. Landon Denny with the block. Two players of the longest hair out there on the floor going up against each other on that play. Tice will throw it into Cullen Norland. Norland entry pass. Aaron Norland in the corner. Sculla for three. Off the rim, no good. And the rebound controlled by Sacred Heart's Parker Erickson. Dangerous pass, almost stolen away by Cullen Norland. 2:09 left to go. Parker Erickson with the ball. He'll pass up the shot. Pass it off to Sunby. Josiah Sunby with the ball. Bounce pass to Isaac Sunby. Here's a drive underneath. Pass and a foul called on the Greyhounds as Arnson got tripped up. It's going to be in Hudson Bushy, his first. Well, it was on the floor, so no shooting foul. 1:55 left to go. Greyhounds down by 9. Inbounds pass to Denny. Denny throws it out to Josiah Sunby. Here's Sunby with the ball on the far side for Sacred Heart. Had it knocked away, loose ball falls down, picked up by Isaac Sunby, and the Eagles keep it just barely. Arnson with the ball, and they're going to call a foul here on the Greyhounds. So Zach Tice has 3 now. Team foul number 6 on Fosston with 1:39 left to go, a 3-possession game. Erickson will inbound. Oh, stolen away. Hudson Bushy picks it up. He goes in. He missed the layup. I think somebody got a hand on it. Now a foul called on the ensuing rebound. That might have been partially blocked by Arnson. And then they're going to call a foul on Tice, and that's his 4th. And we're down to 1:34 left to go in the game. And that mountain is getting a lot steeper to climb for the Fosston Greyhounds. Isaac Sunby at the line to shoot 1-1 as the Eagles get into the bonus with 1:34 left to go. And the first one no good. Oh, Denny looked like he went over the back. It's stolen away though by Tice. Denny had the ball off the rebound, and the Greyhounds have it. Aaron Norland with it. And there's a three-point shot, no good. And the rebound controlled by Isaac Sunby. And there's a backcourt foul, and the Eagles can nail this thing down at the free throw line. Well, the coaches are kind of jawing at each other. I'm not sure what they called the foul. And Sculla has fouled out of the game. I'm not sure if Coach Sturkel wanted an intentional foul there or what the deal was, because the foul was called in Fosston. Sculla's going to come off the floor. And Darren, after the game he had against Fertile Beltrami on Wednesday night, scoreless here today. First free throw is good for Josiah Sunby. He's 3 for 3 at the line. 55-45, Sacred Heart by 10 with just 80 seconds left to go in the game. Second one is off the rim, no good. Rebound knocked around, pulled out of there. Arnson got it, now another foul called on the Greyhounds. And the Eagles can smell it now. Cullen Norland is the player called for the foul, his second, the team's 9th. And unless we see a miracle now, it's going to be some careers wrapping up for the Fosston Greyhound seniors, the 7 of them. First one is off, no good. And the rebound controlled by Carson Bushy, his 3rd. Aaron Norland with the ball out on the wing. Hudson Bushy for 3, and that's off the back rim, no good. Denny with the rebound, his 11th rebound. And a long pass down the floor to Erickson. Erickson underneath and a layup up and in. 2 more. Arnson with 16. And here's a three-point shot taken by Carson Bushy, no good. Arnson with the rebound and a foul called underneath the basket. And the Sacred Heart fans and players beginning to celebrate what appears to be another trip to the state tournament. Hudson Bushy picks up his 2nd foul. The Eagles are in the double bonus now. Arnson will shoot 2. He's 3 for 5 at the line today. 49 seconds left to go. And the first one is good. Arnson with 17 points. Erickson with 15. Denny with 10. 58-45. Greyhounds trail. Second one no good. Carson Bushy with the rebound. His 4th of the game. Aaron Norland with the ball. Aaron gets bumped and fouled with just 43 seconds left to go. Got fouled there by Bloom. His 1st. Team's 5th. 43 seconds left to go, and some fantastic basketball careers are about to come to an end here for the Fosston Greyhounds. 7 seniors on this year's team. Aaron Norland to Tice. Tice will shoot the three-pointer off the back rim, no good. Sunby with the rebound, outlet pass deflected. Erickson picks it up. Greyhounds will not foul. 30 seconds left to go, or maybe, well, yeah, there's a steal by Hudson Bushy. They're not giving up. Long pass, good catch by Carson Bushy out to Cullen Norland. Cullen with a long three-pointer, no good. Rebound controlled by Tice. Tice will lean in, he shoots, and he got the bounce. So Tice with the bucket. 9 seconds left to go, and the Eagles have landed on a 2nd straight trip to the state tournament. That's gonna do it. The 2023 Section 8A Boys Basketball Championship goes to the East Grand Forks Sacred Heart Eagles with a 58-47 win over the Fosston Greyhounds. So for the 2nd year in a row, Sacred Heart will be heading down to the Twin Cities. And they did a great job down there last year, taking home the consolation championship. They lose 2 1,000-point scorers. But like Ben Hemberger said in the pregame show, it wasn't rebuilding, it was reloading. So Sacred Heart is back in the state tournament here in 2023. Coming up here on KKCQ and KRJB and your live event, it'll be the postgame report brought to you by Home Crown Realty. The game summary brought to you by Benedictine Care Community and Mission Court in Ada. Post-game connection brought to you by the Halstead Telephone Company. And we'll have our stars of the game, the Enbridge Bring the Energy t-shirt winner, the sub of the game, and we'll have comments from coach and players, hopefully. So that's all coming up here on the post-game show. We'll be back after a 4-minute timeout.
Its own unique set of challenges. That's why we treat your business just like ours, to make sure you are covered right. Hello, this is Shane with Irie Insurance, and our agents have seen it all, and one slip-up can take a small business years to recover from. That's why it's so important for a small business to work with an insurance company that can save them money but also make sure they are protected. If you own a small business, we would like to work for you. Go to IrieInsurance.com to find a local agent near you.
The Halstead Living Center, Heritage House in Halstead, and the Normandy in Twin Valley present an atmosphere that is calm and comfortable. Whether you're in need of a short-term or long-term care stay, they offer a variety of first-rate services with a tailored plan to exceed your expectations at any level of care, including senior living with services, skilled nursing care, rehabilitation care, respite, hospice, or adult daycare. Get more information by going to halsteadlivingcenter.com or call 218-456-2105.
When you're going out to play this winter, do it in Ada. Ada has an ice skating rink, snowmobiling, snowshoe and cross-country ski trails. And stop in Ada on your way to and from any other activities. Meet your friends, have a bite to eat. Or if you're in the mood for a swim and not quite ready for a polar plunge, swim with family and friends at the indoor pool at the Deco Center. Ada also has its event center ready to host meetings or family events. Welcome to Ada, alive and thriving.
Farming today doesn't always feel the same way it used to. Then again, some of it feels all the same. Maybe it isn't so much the jobs that changed, but how they get done. Now that's a different story. Everything got bigger and smaller at the same time. Insurance, accounting, and taxes can get complicated, so you need someone who's looking to keep every dollar possible in your pocket. Ag Country.
Spring is in the air, which means it's time to start thinking about your lawn care. At All That and More, Toro of Fosston, they've got you covered with their spring lawnmower sale. March through May, they're offering $300 off select Time Cutter zero-turn models. Plus, you can take advantage of their special financing offer of up to 0% APR for 42 months. With Toro's cutting-edge technology and All That and More's exceptional service, you can be sure that you're getting the best lawnmower on the market. Get the cut you deserve with All That and More, Toro, located right on Highway 2 West in Fosston.
Treat yourself to a great career at American Crystal Sugar Company. Team up with quality people making quality products. Full-time and year-round in a stable business. With great pay and benefits including time off available from day one. American Crystal Sugar Company invests in you to promote your continued growth and career advancement. Grow your career doing your best work within the world's best beet sugar company. Apply online today at AmericanCrystalCareers.com.
The Benedictine Living Community in Ada is currently hiring for the following positions: Director of Nursing, full-time exempt position. CNA, full and part-time, need not be certified to apply, will train you. Resident Assistant, full-time assisted living position. An RN LPN charge nurse, full-time days and overnights. For more information, log on to blcada.org/jobs. or call 218-784-5500. Consider a career with the Benedictine Living Community in Ada.
Sacred Heart Eagles as they come away with the win after defeating the Fosston Greyhounds today here on your Saturday afternoon. Of course, Tom Lano on the call. He will be joining us here in just a moment as he will be down on the court speaking with some of the players, speaking with some of the coaches, obviously taking you through all of the action. We are here on KKCQ, KRJB, as well as on YourLiveEvent.com here on the Home Crown Realty post-game report. And, of course, Home Crown Realty, Eric Martin, Brandon Dahl, licensed in Minnesota and North Dakota. Buy and sell real estate. Visit homecrownrealty.com. Of course, now let's get into our post-game summary brought to you by our friends over at the Benedictine Care Community and Mission Court. Of course, together, a trusted name in senior living. And really, started out early on as Sacred Heart was able to get out to an early run there in the first half, able to get out to a 13-2 run to start the game for today for Sacred Heart. And really, that was where Fosston was playing behind a little bit here throughout the day, trying to come back and really try to amount that comeback there throughout the first half, and really dealt with some issues there at the half. And, of course, your halftime score was that 25-12 score, obviously, here in the first half. Second half, you saw that offense really pick up when it came to the Fosston Greyhounds especially, and really able to get some transition buckets here and there. But at the same time, that's where you saw Sacred Heart really able to take advantage and really be able to get out and run there in the first half or in the second half, of course, and really deal with some of those transition buckets. And for every answer that Fosston had, for every transition bucket, you saw Sacred Heart Eagle was able to answer back with a transition three and able to score well quite a bit there as well. And, of course, as the Sacred Heart Eagles go ahead and celebrate their section championship here in Section 8A, they are the final Section 8A team that is celebrating here today, as we are going to have the announcements of the pairings coming up at 4:30 later today, as the rest of the state really was waiting on this one for Class A when it came to the state pairings as well. So that will take place at 4:30. Now we're going to go ahead and get into our post-game comments as well. We're going to send things down over to Tom Lano as he's joined by head coach Destry Sturkel of the Sacred Heart Eagles. Tom, take it away.
Coach, congratulations. A 13-0 run there in the first half. That was a huge part of this basketball game. You guys came to play today.
So proud of them, man. Just kept battling every single possession, every single day. They had a chip on their shoulder all year. No one thought that they could do it, and they wanted to do it again. You get winning, it just keeps breeding more winning, and couldn't be more proud of those guys today.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Was that maybe a little driving force behind your team's success this year?
Absolutely. I mean, if you weren't fired up to be here today, you didn't need him. You weren't going to win. But these guys were fired up, and we used it all year. You know, why are we lifting in the middle of January? Because we need to be stronger. Why are we doing the same drills? Because we need to be perfect at it. And you saw the execution all day today. It's just so proud when that hard work pays off. I'm just so happy for the guys, so happy for the entire community. Sacred Heart's the best thing that's in my life.
3 starters from last year's team, but then you had 2 who were in the starting lineup this year who played last year and went through this whole experience. That was huge.
Absolutely. You got to build on those experiences, and we're going to lose 2 more eventually this year, but other people will come up. But you just stick with it. Stick with the process, work hard. Enjoy your moment, and good things happen to you.
Greyhounds hung in there. They got it to within 6, a 2-possession game, but you were able to persevere.
Yeah, that was a big moment. Ethan just stone cold. You don't know if he's mad or happy. Same reaction, hit a big corner 3. The guys just respond. We tell them that. Every time someone makes a run, you got to nip it in the butt and just respond to it, and they did.
Your guard play is fantastic, and a lot of people talked about the length of your team and the advantage you would have there, and I think defensively and offensively we saw that today.
Absolutely. We got good length and we got smart IQ. You know, the Sunby boys are small, undersized, but they're smart, they're hard-nosed, and they do not like losing.
Hey, congratulations, Coach. I'll let you celebrate with your team, but hey, good luck at the state tournament. You did a great job there last year. Hope it goes well again this year.
That's right. We're going to try our hardest.
Okay. Thanks. Good luck. Thank you. All right, Mac, we'll maybe send it back to you, and we'll be back down here in just a little bit. I'll try to get Coach Ben Hemberger.
All right, thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Of course, great stuff talking with head coach Destry Sturkel. And, you know, again, you take a look at that Sacred Heart team and that Sacred Heart lineup here, especially coming in, and just a veteran group, especially. Been here last year, back-to-back tournament section champions, excuse me. So this will be their second straight state run here this year as well. And so as we go ahead and get you set and all ready to go, let's also take a look through the statistics here today. Of course, our statistics brought to you by our friends over at Christian Motors. Of course, stop by Christian Motors for the absolute best selection in used cars, or visit them online at ChristianCarsOnline.com. Christian Motors with locations in Minnesota, including Fertile and Crookston, and locations in North Dakota, including Findlay, Cooperstown, Jamestown, and their used superstore in Mayville. There's no excuse not to go to our friends over at Christian Motors. And look, if you can't make it out there, go ahead and visit them online, ChristianCarsOnline.com. Christian Motors, the absolute best selection in used cars. Let's take a look at those Sacred Heart Eagles to start things off. And, you know, leading the way was Ethan Arnson, the senior, and, of course, you know, Destry Sturkel, he talked about it, especially those seniors on the line in that lineup, really doing a good job. Ethan Arnson leading the way with 17 points. Behind him, Parker Erickson, a sophomore that had fantastic run here throughout this postseason. He has 15 points here today, and behind him got Landon Denny, the senior, as well. Again, 10 points from the big man in the middle there. Landon Denny, he added in 10. And then it also had a 10 rebounds there as well. So double-double for the big man. And behind him, you had 6 points from Josiah Sunby, leading the charge on offense as the junior. And behind him, coming off the bench, or starting as well, Breck Bloom, the senior, he had a triple. Mike Gapp, the junior off the bench, he had a triple as well. And Isaac Sunby, he had 2 off the bench, as well as the sophomore Greg Downs, he had 2 coming off the bench. On the other side for the Fosston Greyhounds, leading the way, that was Aaron Norland. Aaron Norland had 13 points here today. And behind him, it was Colin Norland with 12. Then Zach Tice having 7 points for Carson Bushy. And then behind him, it was 3 points for Hudson Bushy off the bench, as well as a bucket for the senior Tony Carleen off the bench as well. So those are your Christian Motors statistics. And, of course, Christian Motors, like I mentioned, absolute best selection in used cars. Visit them online, ChristianCarsOnline.com. From the Thriving Financial, Laura Tweeten in Ulen radio booth. Of course, visit Laura in Ada or Ulen and plan for the future as we go ahead and take you through the post-game report here as well. Of course, keeping an eye out for Tom Lano as he goes through the sidelines, of course. And you know, when it comes to Tom, he's going to be talking with Ben Hemberger, as Ben Hemberger, head coach of the Fosston Greyhounds, joins Tom Lano right now here on KRJB, KKCQ, and YourLiveEvent.com. Tom, take it away.
Hey, thanks, Mac. I've got Greyhound coach Ben Hemberger. Ben, first of all, congratulations on a glorious season. And, you know, it breaks your heart to see the 7 seniors that have put in so much time with the Greyhounds throughout the years wrap up their careers today, but they gave it everything they had.
They did, and you know, I've been doing this a long time, Tom, and we've had some really good teams over the years, and you know, I'm as proud of this team as any team that we've ever had, and it is all due to those 7 seniors. You can't ask for 7 better kids in my book. They are as good as it gets on the floor, obviously, but it's just as in the classroom and as more so as people, and love every one of them to death. This one hurts. We got off to a rough start, and we just could not get over the hump. And but it definitely was not for the lack of effort. And these guys have brought effort from the day they started bouncing the ball way back when kindergarten or whatever it was. And holy buckets, what a group of kids! A lot of fun.
13-0 run, Sacred Heart. When they took a 13-2 lead there, but like we said, you guys didn't quit, and you had a couple of players playing through a lot of pain today.
They're warriors, man. You know, Carson Bushy, obviously everybody saw what happened with him against Fertile early in the game with his ankle, and he gave it his all, and he left it all on the court, and I can't be prouder of that kid. And one that maybe a lot of people didn't know about was Darren Scala, who was playing with a pretty, against Ada Borp, he banged up his knee pretty good, but in that Fertile game, he hurt his wrist pretty good, and he couldn't even hardly catch a ball the last couple days at practice. And those two kids, they're tough kids, and they gave it everything that they had, and they're seniors, and they're not gonna want to miss their potential last game. But obviously Carson could move like he normally does, and probably affected getting his lift on his shot and whatnot. But again, it wasn't for a lack of heart and a lack of effort and a lack of just guts. And if I could pick one word to describe this whole group, is guts. And very proud of them.
It was a great year. Hey, you got it to within 6 there, and it just seemed like Sacred Heart would have an answer whenever you were starting to make a little move.
We got it to 6 like 2 or 3 different times, probably about 6-7 minutes to go in the game, and there was a couple times where we got stops and we'd coming up the floor in transition, we turned it right back over to them and then come down and hit a big 3 or something. And we just could not get over that hole that we dug ourselves at the beginning of the game. And I think we were down 16, one point early in the second half, but our kids battled back, and we were missing everything in the first half. I think we used them all up the other night against Fertile possibly, but I tell you what, we're getting shots. We just could not knock anything down. We're air banking layups, which these guys never do, but like I said, we battled back, gave ourselves a chance, and I thought once we had it to 6 with about 7 minutes left, and I thought we were just gonna go, but credit Sacred Heart too. They made plays and made big buckets down the stretch.
You haven't played many teams at the length or size of Sacred Heart this year.
No, we haven't, and at times, I guess it maybe affected us a little bit, and I thought maybe that has a little bit have to do with what we're doing inside at the basket in the first half. But I thought our kids settled down and did a little bit better job in the second half. But it wasn't just shots in traffic that we're missing. We're missing wide open layups in transition, and it wasn't us. And unfortunately, bad luck reared its ugly head today for us. But credit to the Eagles. They played a great game, and they're well coached, and wish them best of luck next week.
All right. Hey, thanks. Congratulations again on a great year, and best of luck to the 7 seniors. Your B squad was 24-2 this year, so you've got some good things to look forward to, but tough to say goodbye to the 7 guys.
It really is. Like I said earlier, they're fantastic kids, fantastic leaders for us, and and obviously fantastic players too. And we got some kids coming back that hopefully they're going to be hungry and want to get into the gym. And there's a lot of good teams that are going to be around for a while here in Section 8. And 24-2 in JV doesn't necessarily translate to 24-2 in varsity. So we got work to do. Hopefully these guys want to buy in and get the work done.
All right. Ben, congratulations on a great season and another great year in Greyhound boys basketball. 1 win shy of the state tournament, but does not overshadow what was really, really a fun year for the Greyhounds and the fans.
It really was. It's a fun group to watch, I'll tell you what. If I wasn't coaching, if I was just a fan, I would thoroughly enjoy watching these boys play, with how hard they play and how well they share the ball and all that stuff. And it was a fun year. Nothing, it doesn't, this loss, obviously it stings and it sucks, but it does not take away from the type of season that these guys had and type of career that these guys had. They've been playing a long time.
Great job, and thanks for all the conversations. I always enjoy chatting with you.
Same with you, Tom. Same with you. Thank you.
Yeah. Ben Hemberger, head coach of the Fosston Greyhounds, and Mac, maybe we'll send it up for a little bit, and I'll try to track down a player or two from Sacred Heart.
Sounds good, Tom, and we will actually go ahead, just take a quick time out. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and have more conversations between Tom and some of these Sacred Heart Eagles, obviously following the win, again, the final here on the Lakes Community Cooperative, and Lynn Force Insurance Agency scoreboard 58-47. Sacred Heart Eagles coming away with the win. We'll be back in 2 minutes right here on YourLiveEvent.com, KKCQ, and KRJB.
Bitcare Inc. has savings on all farm implement and ag equipment tires during this Ag Month celebration. Thanks to area farms and farm families for your business and for growing the crops to produce the food we enjoy. Bitker Inc. with savings on farm and ag equipment tires. Call Troy the Tire Guy to order your tires today and discover additional savings with multiple tire orders for your farm. Bitker Inc. located between Ada and Halstead. 218-456-7467.
You won this year's chili cook-off. Our girls played in the softball finals last spring. You're not just another policyholder to us. We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
He remembered my name.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense.
Rivers Edge Insurance Agency, Halstead. 218-456-2172.
Jeff, Mary, Dan, Sarah.
Diamonds on Demers in Grand Forks, proud to be your local downtown jewelry destination. With access to beautiful gemstones, pearls, diamonds, and so much more, we are here to find the perfect piece for you that will become a cherished keepsake. We believe it's important that you love what you're buying, but also understand what you're buying. We're here to answer all your questions and provide you with excellent customer service. If you don't know jewelry, know the jeweler. Talk with Scott and Angela at Diamonds on Demers, located at 667 Demers Avenue in Grand Forks.
And your coach talked about your work ethic. I mean, weightlifting in January, probably the worst time of the year you want to be lifting weights because it's a long season, but it paid off.
For sure. I mean, all that hard work pays off in this moment right here. We all play sports year-round. We're all always working, and we're never being lazy, and that's why this gets us here.
13-0 run. You fell behind 2-0, then you took a 13-2 lead. That was a big part of the game.
Oh, for sure. And we have been having trouble with that all year. We always start out down, but when we start off hot, we know we're going to have a good game.
And Fosston played you tough today, but, I mean, they just couldn't get over the hump.
No, Fosston's a tough team, and kudos to them because they're solid. We just had a lot of size advantage today, and we definitely took advantage of that.
And, of course, that emotional win against Warren Alvarado Oslo to get to this championship game today. What a game that was, huh?
Yeah, that game was crazy. I got kudos to Warren. They're a solid team, and a lot of good guys on that team, so kudos to them for putting up such a fight. But yeah.
And kudos to you guys for coming out of an extremely strong section. I mean, they're like a lot of people said, there were 8 or 9 teams, I think, that could have come out of here.
Oh, yeah, this is a tough section, one of the toughest there are. I mean, there's a bunch of teams that are top in the state. We weren't supposed to win the section this year, but we always battle.
Kind of like last year. I don't think a lot of people talked about you last year either.
No, we weren't picked at all last year, and then we had 2,000-point scores we lost going into this year. They thought we'd be out of it this year again, but no, we always fight.
All right, now let's talk about the state tournament. You're not certain of who you're going to play yet, but just going through the experience of last year and doing well down there, that's huge.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to it. Last year, we were just trying to make it to state. This year, we're trying to make a run. Like last year, we weren't looking, I mean, of course, we were trying to do well at state, but we weren't expecting anything too much. But this year, with that experience behind us, I mean, we're trying to make some moves at state for sure.
Congratulations and good luck at state.
Thank you very much.
Okay, there's Landon Denny joining us here. And Ethan Arnson, let's try to get Ethan Arnson on here. Ethan, congratulations on another section title.
Thank you.
All right, well, tell us about the keys to your win here today.
Shooting the ball with confidence was really key. We didn't do that against Warren. Post play was huge, landed it awesome. He really took control of the paints and really helped us.
Well, it's kind of funny how things work out because the other night you struggled shooting against the Ponies. Well, the Greyhounds shot like 84% against Fertile Beltrami. Kind of funny how that works, huh?
Yeah, it just flip-flopped. So it went in our favor, so that's all that matters.
How does this compare to last year?
Honestly, I don't even know. It's like I think last year might have been better because it was a double overtime win. But this year we're going to try to win games at state. Last year I feel like we just wanted to go to state. But this year we're going to actually try to win games.
You lose 2 1,000-point scorers. I mean, that's a lot of scoring to try to pick up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it took us a little bit to get going in the first part of the year. And then once we really got a feel for it, that's when we start going.
Was there a certain win or a certain game that you feel, hey, we got a really good shot at doing this?
I think the Thompson game, we were down by like 13 at halftime, and then we came back and won by like 10, so we just were like, whoa, that's a huge swing. So I think that was the game for me that we felt like it was.
Getting off to a huge start today, too, was big.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You guys seem like you're a real cohesive unit.
Oh, yeah, we up really, really well as a team, so if we can do that state, that would be huge.
And, of course, the success you enjoyed at state last year, that should give you a nice springboard this year.
Oh, yeah.
All right, congratulations. Great job.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, that's Ethan Arnson. I think we'll set it back up to you, Mac, and we'll see if we can track down maybe another player or two. And as Sacred Heart's going to the state tournament for a second year in a row.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. We'll go ahead, keep an eye out for you for some more of those post-game interviews. Of course, here on the Home Crown Realty post-game show. Of course, I'm Mac Robinson here, taking you through all of the post-game action here as well. And, of course, let's go ahead and give out some of our awards here on the Home Crown Realty post-game report from the Thrivent Financial Laura Tweeden in Ulen radio booth as we go ahead and get you all set to go here. And let's start things off. When it comes to the post-game connection, I'm going to give this one over to Josiah Sunby, 6 points for the Sacred Heart Eagles as he led the way when it came to the offense for Sacred Heart. 6 points, really doing a good job of leading the offense, especially for the Eagles here. And, of course, when it comes to Halstead Telephone Company, the postgame connection brought to you by Halstead Telephone Company. That is your Halstead Telephone Company postgame connection. Halstead Telephone Company is keeping you connected, serving communities and schools to Halstead, Fisher, Climax, Shelley, East Grand Forks, Hillsborough, and surrounding rural areas. Halstead Telephone Company, it's how you connect. And let's also get into our sub of the game. Of course, sub of the game brought to you by JT Station in Fertile and the Subway in Ada. JT Station, locally owned and operated. JT Station in Fertile, where fuel meets flavor and community meets convenience. Fueling the hearts of Fertile, one tank at a time, as well as the Subway in Ada. Dine in, take out, Subway in Ada. Which is to say thank you to all of those who have stopped in and continue to be regular customers at the Subway in Ada. And that's going to go to Isaac Sunby, the freshman, coming in off the bench, 2 points, but had a few crucial steals and played crucial defense for those Eagles en route to their championship here today. So that is your JT Station in Fertile and Subway in Ada sub of the game. Of course, special thanks to all of them as well. And we keep an eye out for Tom Lano, of course, keeping an eye out for, it almost feels like Where's Waldo with the way that this is kind of set up down here. Just a scrum of people as well as we keep an eye out for Tom. And Tom looking like he's got the assistant head coach down there as well. So I'm going to throw things down to Tom. Tom, take it away.
Hey, thanks, Mac. Logan, congratulations on another trip to the state tournament. What a great team effort, not only today, but for the whole postseason and for the whole season.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about it at the beginning of the year. We lose 2 guys who are all-time leading scorers in our whole history of our program. And, nobody picked us to be here. Nobody picked us in the subsection championship, the conference, anything. And, man, what a great group of guys, man. They keep on believing and keep pushing each other in practice every day, do things in the summer. And, man, I couldn't ask for a better group. They deserve this.
Absolutely. They played hard today, and, give the Fosston Greyhounds a lot of credit. They certainly made a nice run there late, got to within 6, but your team was able to persevere.
Yeah, that's a resilient group, man. They're tough. They're tough in every sport. Man, I know a few of those seniors as well. I coached them in Dackman a couple years ago for baseball, man, and just a great group. That senior class is awesome, and we knew it was going to be a battle. We knew they weren't going to go away regardless of what the score was going to be. We could be up 50, and they were going to come back. They were just battle, man. I'm dang proud of our group, but, man, that group over there, man, I'm proud of their season as well. They deserve that.
The Eagles had a great run in the state tournament last year. You come home with some hardware, and that's a couple of your players I talked to said the same thing. That experience should pay off for this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Last year we were just happy to be there. And then this year we're not done yet. We have to take it one game at a time still. Hoping to go there and win it all. That's our plan. But it's, again, one game at a time. And as long as these boys keep on playing with, for one another and keep on doing their thing, man, I'm not worried about us one bit, man. We'll continue to fight whoever we get, whether the seed is, doesn't matter. And they're just a great group. I'm proud of them.
One of your players, I think, said it was a driving force to not have maybe that preseason respect, for a lack of a better word, that people were talking about Cass Lake being a Fosston, a lot of other teams, and Sacred Heart maybe wasn't in the conversation so much, but that seemed to be a driving force.
Yeah, absolutely. We like that underdog mentality. And last year was a big upset against Cass Lake, and then this year we knew that it was going to be a hard-fought battle, an even team, that we were going to face, and our kids just do a great job of. We read little tweets and all these sub quotes about everything about who picked who, and nobody picked us, and our kids just fight through and just continue to stay together. They do a great job.
Was there a game in your mind that you felt that, boy, this is a big win and we have a chance of doing some damage here? Because I think Ethan alluded to the Thompson game.
You know what? I'll go earlier. I'll say the Red Lake County, when we played them at home, we played them really well, and that's a tough team. And right after we played Warren, and we had to go to their place, and Warren was undefeated at the time, number 6 in QRF. And when we knocked them, man, we battled, and we beat them. And that's a tough team to do, especially at their place. So I think that game was the one where I said, man, we can really make a run at this.
And then late in the season, I think it was your conference championship game, you had a loss to the Northern Freeze. So, I mean, that was a late season setback.
Yeah, it was. Northern Freeze, they're a tough team, and, we lost to them twice. And, they battled, and maybe the matchup wasn't always in our favor there, but we always know what we're going to get with Northern Freeze. It doesn't matter. Those two coaches are incredible. It doesn't matter who's on the court for them, man. They can grab 5 guys, and they're just going to compete, and they're going to be, grinders, and they're dirtbags, and they're just a great team. So, that necessarily wasn't a setback. It was just more of a, hey, we got to get to work, and we have a lot of things that we need to work on and get better on. And I think we did that.
When you can cut the nets down at Engelstad Arena, that's an awesome thing. Congratulations.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for all the coverage.
Yep, you're welcome, and good luck at state. All right, I think I'll send it back to you, and might head up to the press box here, Mac, but the Sacred Heart Eagles are on their way to the state tournament, and almost a tape-to-tape win with the exception of a 2-0 deficit. They tied it at 2, then took a 13-2 lead and never looked back. So congratulations to the Eagles on the section title.
And thank you, Tom, for that. I'll see you back up here in the Laura Tweeten Thrivent broadcast booth. Of course, Laura Tweeten in Ada and Ulen. Make sure you visit with Laura and plan for the future. And so we're going to take a quick timeout, take a 2-minute timeout here. When we come back, we're going to get into the Darren Ramey Insurance Brokers of America and American Federal Bank and Fosston Chiropractic stars of the game, as well as get into a couple more of our post-game awards here on the Home Crown Realty post-game report here on KKCQ, KRJB, and on YourLiveEvent.com. Stay tuned.
Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9, North Ada. It's cleaner with Gleaner. Visit with Chuck Arneo for more details. Ziegler Ag Equipment coming soon. Additional trade-ins and more new equipment arriving at Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9, North Ada. Massey Ferguson 4710 tractor is on the lot. Fendt Model 516 tractor on the lot. Ziegler Ag Equipment, Highway 9, North Ada, 218-784-2961.
This is Carly Olson at American Federal Bank in Ada. You can save time on your banking needs with American Federal's mobile deposit. Use your mobile device to deposit checks whenever and wherever it's convenient for you. It's available to online banking customers within the American Federal mobile banking app. Go to your app store today to download the American Federal mobile banking app. To learn more about American Federal's mobile deposit, stop in and visit us at American Federal Bank in Ada, member FDIC.
Service is something that's taken very seriously at the Bennett Hoagland Agency of Ada and Moorhead. John Wayne and Marissa know that service is important to you, their customer. They keep you informed and educated on the latest changes in crop insurance coverage and giving you fast claim services. John Wayne and Marissa at the Ben Hemberger Agency have the experience and involvement with crop insurance, which helps to better serve the area farmer with crop insurance information. They thank you for your business, and they remind you, if you have any questions about crop insurance, visit them at the Ben Hemberger Agency of Ada and Moorhead.
Have you seen the huge selection of used vehicles that Christian Motors of Fertile has? Stop by the lot, talk with one of the guys about the huge selection of cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, and so much more. They've got a great selection of used vehicles right now. You can view them at christianmotors.com or christiancarsonline.com. One of the biggest selection of used vehicles around, it's Christian Motors. They're proud to be your Chevy and GMC dealer, Highway 32 North in Fertile.
Where the Sacred Heart Eagles have come away with the Section 8A championship, winning 58-47 right here on YourLiveEvent.com, KKCQ, as well as KRJB here in the Home Crown Realty post-game report. And let's get into our Darren Ramey Insurance Brokers of America, American Federal Bank in Ada, as well as our Fosston Chiropractic stars of the game, and that is going to go to, the star of the game is going to go to Ethan Arnson, the senior for the Eagles. He finished with 17 points today, and so he is going to be your star of the game, again brought to you by the Darren Ramey Insurance Brokers of America, American Federal Bank in Ada, and the Fosston Chiropractic Clinic. And so now let's get into our RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game. And the RDK Enterprise Precision Player of the Game, that's going to go over to the sophomore, Parker Erickson. Again, the sophomore, he finished with 15 points here tonight, and of course was locked in from deep, had a couple of triples, and really just played very well for the Eagles, and really throughout this run, this postseason run here in Section 8A. You know, he has done a good job from beyond the arc and really controlling things beyond the arc especially, and really playing, you know, wiser than his years at that point as a sophomore in a senior-dominated starting lineup there for, or an upperclassman-dominated starting lineup for the Sacred Heart Eagles. So he finishes with 15 points, and he is your RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game. Of course, RDK Enterprises, look, when it comes to precision planting, they are your dealer, and spring is coming. Are you ready? Is your maintenance plan in place? Do you have parts on hand or any upgrades available and decided on and purchased? Look, the folks at RDK Enterprises can help you. Spring will be here before you know it, and they will help you meet the challenge. Contact RDK Enterprises at planterdoc.com. That's planterdoc.com. And now let's get into our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. The one getting the T-shirt, that's going to be Aaron Norland. He finished with 13 points. He gets the T-shirt. Of course, the senior for the Greyhounds, he finished with 13, had a few steals, played hard on defense, and really was able to force a couple of turnovers, and really was a big factor in the reason why the Fosston Greyhounds really were able to trim it down to 6 there late in the ball game. So he is your Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. And look, tomorrow is happening right now. Now more than ever, the world needs safe, secure, sustainable, and affordable sources of energy. Visit tomorrowison.com. Enbridge, life takes energy. So we're going to take one more timeout. When we come back, going to have Tom Lano run through the game, give his summary, give his thoughts on today's final. Of course, Sacred Heart getting the win over the Fosston Greyhounds, 58-47 on the Linforce Insurance Agency and Lakes Community Cooperative scoreboard. We'll be back here in 3 minutes right here on KRJB, KKCQ, and on YourLiveEvent.com.
This is Chris from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. Many factors impact your ability to increase profits on the farm. Make sure your planter is an asset and not a liability. Some limiting factors in making the perfect planter pass are row maintenance, meter calibration, and downforce management. It will not cost you anything to have the conversation about identifying those limiting factors. Call RDK Enterprises 701-636-2119 or planterdoc.com.
Founded upon our Benedictine heritage of prayer and work, Sacred Heart Catholic School promotes faith in Jesus Christ, educates youth, and ministers to all. At Sacred Heart, it's not just about education, but about the formation of the person, mind, body, and soul. By living each day the Eagle Way, today's students will become tomorrow's leaders. To learn more about the Sacred Heart School or to view activity schedules, teachers' pages, and more, visit sacredheartegf.net.
Every business has its special needs and its own unique set of challenges. That's why we treat your business just like ours, to make sure you are covered right. Hello, this is Shane with Irie Insurance, and our agents have seen it all, and one slip-up can take a small business years to recover from. That's why it's so important for a small business to work with an insurance company that can save them money but also make sure they are protected. If you own a small business, we would like to work for you. Go to IrieInsurance.com to find a local agent near you.
The Halstead Living Center, Heritage House in Halstead, and the Normandy in Twin Valley present an atmosphere that is calm and comfortable. Whether you're in need of a short-term or long-term care stay, they offer a variety of first-rate services with a tailored plan to exceed your expectations at any level of care, including senior living with services, skilled nursing care, rehabilitation care, respite, hospice, or adult daycare. Get more information by going to halsteadlivingcenter.com or call 218-456-2105.
When you're going out to play this winter, do it in Ada. Ada has an ice skating rink, snowmobiling, snowshoe and cross-country ski trails. And stop in Ada on your way to and from any other activities. Meet your friends, have a bite to eat. Or if you're in the mood for a swim and not quite ready for a polar plunge, swim with family and friends at the indoor pool at the Deco Center. Ada also has its event center ready to host meetings or family events. Welcome to Ada, alive and thriving.
All right, we're back here at Ralph Engelstad Arena in Thief River Falls. Congratulations to East Grand Forks Sacred Heart on a return trip to the state tournament. Never easy to repeat. Doesn't matter what sport it is. It's tough to repeat as a section champion, especially in a section so loaded like we had this year. Mac Robinson, Sacred Heart, that 13-0 run, I mean, that was huge as it turned out. But, boy, I think one of the keys, too, they seem to have the answer every time. The Greyhounds, they got it to within a six a few times there in the second half, and there was a costly turnover for the Greyhounds, and then Sacred Heart hit a couple of big threes, and, you know, they just seem to have the answer every time the Greyhounds were starting to get closer.
Yeah, and that was the big thing is that, you know, especially you could see that the Greyhounds were still battling back there, you know, towards the end of the game. And, I mean, I would say this. I'll give the performance ag of Borup play of the game. Give the high-performance play of the game, and give that one over to Parker Erickson. Had a late three right as the Greyhounds were getting a couple of turnovers. Did a really good job of, you know, getting the ball back and having that answer right back for Sacred Heart and really able to hold on to that lead. Of course, Performance Ag of Borup. You want high performance on your farm, visit the guys at Performance Ag of Borup. Dry and liquid fertilizer, seed your farm, sugar beet, corn, sunflower, and alfalfa seeds, agronomy and application services available. Thank you for your business from your locally owned agronomy center, Performance Ag west of Borup.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, the Greyhounds were banged up, too. I mean, you've got Darren Sculla, who scored 24 points against Fertile Beltrami. He was held scoreless here today, playing with a bad knee and a bad wrist. Carson Bushy playing with a bad ankle, and there were a couple of times he tweaked it, came back on the floor, and like Ben Hemberger said, these especially the seniors were not about to miss an opportunity to try to get to the state tournament, regardless of how banged up they were. And yeah, it was a great year for the Greyhounds and for East Grand Forks Sacred Heart coming out of an extremely tough section. They won their 2 out of their 3 games last year at state, and the one they lost, it was a pretty close game. So I don't know. I mean, it's not like the old days where you had Minneapolis North when they were in single hand. You could stamp the state champion ahead of time. It's a little different now. So Sacred Heart, they'll find out around 4:30 this afternoon who they'll play and at what time they'll play in the state tournament. And this year it's a little different format. Single A is Wednesday, and then they take Thursday off for the championship bracket anyways. Consolation is still Thursday, but then Friday and Saturday. So it's a little different format for Single A this year. But Sacred Heart, I think they're going to do well at the state tournament. This team, they've got some size. And the ones who don't have a lot of size are pretty darn good. So, yeah, it's going to be, I think, a pretty good run for them in the state tournament.
Well, and the thing that I find interesting, too, is it's the blend of, you know, you have the players that were obviously there last year. Obviously, the majority of these guys on the same team from last year as well. But the thing is that you have guys that had a lot of experience, obviously like Elaine and Denny getting out there, Ethan Arnson, who you talked to as well. But, you mix in somebody like a Parker Erickson, who's a sophomore that's coming in. Obviously, Josiah Sunby, very talented point guard. You have that balance of guys that are coming up, obviously having more experience now in this run, mixed with the guys that were there last year that tasted that state title, that state championship run, or like the state run, I guess, in general last year. But seeing the way that they were able to balance that out, I think that's more interesting in my opinion, because Erickson was knocking him down like he was a senior out there with the way that he played against Warren Alvarado Oslo, with the way that he played against Goodrich Grigla there as well. Seeing this entire run for these guys, it's interesting to see who has stepped up. And like you said, having that size especially too mixed in, that's fantastic for them.
And I think accolades have to go out to Landon Denny. He had a double-double today. He had 10 points and he had 10 rebounds. And the 6'5 senior had a big game. And I forget who it was, but it might have been Coach Sturkel who said, that's what this experience does. It breeds success. There aren't a lot of times you can look back at a team that goes to the state tournament, or maybe even back-to-back like this year, and not see a run of success. Maybe not a trip to state every year, but you see that program really build. It's very, very unoften that you see a team go to state and then have the program just completely collapse and have a bunch of losing years. So I think we're going to see Sacred Heart in the mix. And like we said, Fosston, I know next year is the furthest thing from their mind, but their B squad was 24-2. They'll be in the mix next year. But like Ben said, there's going to be a lot of teams, a lot of young, good teams this year, girls and boys in Section 8. Yeah,
and that's the one thing is that, now you're starting to see that kind of climb up there especially too. And, also, you said it, this is the last time we're going to be here in the Ralph. This is also going to be the last game that we see without a shot clock. And so, getting a chance to see how that also affects things, with it being a younger group too, I think that might also be an upside for Fosston next year, where you have some of those guys that, aren't necessarily used to playing in this type of a game, year after year after year. Now you're getting them adjusted to and acclimated to that next wave of basketball coming for them. So honestly, that might pay dividends for them here coming down the road.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the shot clock. You bring that up, and it's been in North Dakota for a while now, and it does add a different element to the game. Some teams did play with it this year. They had the option if they wanted to, especially the B squads, but I know some of the holiday tournaments, they tried it out. And, it remains to be seen what kind of an impact it'll have, like for the Fosston Greyhounds, who aren't an up-and-down, high-tempo type of team. But I, for one, and I think you agree, it's going to be a good thing. Yeah,
and especially, in calling a couple of games over in North Dakota, too, getting a chance to see how that flow of the game changes a little bit. And, I know especially here in 8A, it's almost reminds me of AFC North football, where everybody talks about, it's grinded out. It's so different compared to the other ways that the game is played. But getting a chance to see how these guys get acclimated to that, where, up here in Section 8A, it feels like it's so slow it down, grind it out, good defense especially, forcing those turnovers, getting those transition buckets, and really just locking it in. Whereas now it's going to be pushing the pace a little bit, forcing yourself to maybe get some more of those better looks inside, or maybe not necessarily looking for the best look, but, getting the best that you possibly can at that point. So I think it's going to be an adjustment year, but I'm going to be interested to see how everybody adjusts to it, especially up here. I think it's going to be, in the long run, it's going to be good for the game, especially. I think that the flow is a little bit better when it comes to the way that basketball is played and seeing that shot clock implemented. But seeing how the teams are going to adjust next year, that's going to be a treat.
Well, and I don't think the coaches are so worried about how the players are going to acclimate. I think it's running, the people running it, because it's a very, very hard job to run that shot clock. You have got to be paying attention. You can't be grabbing popcorn unless there's a whistle. You've got to have your eyes on the game at all times. And like we said, you've got to have at least 2 or 3 people that know how to do it, because people are gone, they get sick.
Right.
So you got to have a lot of people that know how to do it, but it'll be interesting. Getting back to this game for a moment, I think that the first half of the first half was the critical point. The Greyhounds were stuck at 2 for about 8 minutes there.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Sacred Heart built that 13-2 lead, and it was just too big of a hole to climb out of. But, congratulations to the Greyhounds, and good luck to the Eagles. And it's been a blast coming up to the Ralph for a couple of weeks now. And, we'll see what happens down at state.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams, or how the Sacred Heart Eagles fare down at state. Wish them best of luck. Of course, head coach Destry Sturkel, of course, talking with Logan Latovsky, assistant coach as well, speaking with them. Appreciate the time as always from them, and best of luck to you guys as you move on into state. And that's going to go ahead and do it for our coverage here on the Postgame Report, of course, with Home Crown Realty, the Postgame Report brought to you by Home Crown Realty. So that's going to go ahead and do it for us. Again, your final on the Lakes Community Cooperative and Lynn Forest Insurance Agency scoreboard. That is the Sacred Heart Eagles moving on to the state tournament, defeating the Fosston Greyhounds 58-47. For Tom Lano, for Joe Lancello back in studio, I'm Mac Robinson. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a good rest of your weekend, everybody.